Send the rain. Send the rain. Wonderful Savior. Wonderful. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. 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 Give you praise, Lord.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm just a kid from Chicago.
Self Love, cue the music. I see this property, bro. Big ups. Hey, y'all, today is February 3, 2021. As always, we acknowledge you can be any place in the universe, and thankfully, we all Scooter chose to be right here together. Here together. What down, Self Love? What you manifesting today, big brother?
Love, Self. You know me. What you manifesting, Self?
Man, nothing but God's grace, God's glory, and God's love, my brother.
That is a blessing, most definitely.
Hey, what's going on in the south side today, bro?
Man, it snowed. That snow, now it's making a mess.
Oh, you got
getting
that
stuck and all that and everywhere out there.
Yeah, I remember I used to be in the shop, bro. You wake up and like, cause you realize, man, it's so quiet outside. You don't hear anything. Like if it snows overnight, right? And then you be hearing cars spinning out, the wheels spinning out, and you hear people talking and moving around and shoveling the snow. I miss that. You know what I mean?
I had my turn last night.
That's character building, though, brother.
Oh yeah, you just got to dig it out and get yourself together, get it all right. And we're supposed to get some more tonight or tomorrow. I don't know if it's tonight or if it's just tomorrow, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, so we up in here with big time, a legend in the game, and I want to give a big ups to my lovely wife Tasia. These except for our first one, but these Black Hollywood, Chi-Town Hollywood ones, it's through her 6 degrees of separation that we're able to make this happen. So big ups to my better half out there, big ups. And bigger ups to the guests. So we got Raj in here, Ernest, Thomas, and wow, I've done my research here, and Self, we talked about, you and I, we mentioned, I think, and Will Dunn was on the show. We mentioned Denzel Washington and his humble spirit, and how you'd have to scour the planet, the universe, to find somebody to really say who really knows the person to say something negative.
Yeah.
That's Ernest.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah, that's Ernest all day long. And so we ask you all to, let's please respect our guests. This is our one of our elders. We also implore you to share the link. Let's share this link. We definitely, want to, document, this brother's journey, and just get a little bit of his story as we always do right here on the Self Love Show. If there are any thespians, any directors, producers, writers, any fans of what's happening, Everybody Hates Chris, what's happening now, the movie Malcolm X, anything of that nature, we want to hear you in the chat as well. So
Absolutely. Been looking forward to this conversation ever since it's been booked. So I need y'all to like, thumbs up, share far and wide. We need y'all to get it done. This is a big one. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the bell for all notifications so you're aware every time we go live or drop a video. It's of the utmost importance. We're trying to grow this platform organically, and we need your help. So I'm humbly asking for it. We have a bit of housekeeping to take care of, but then we get into our platform, the more growth and development. It is the basis by which we are building. It's
and
huge.
Don't panic. We just got a little music going on. But yes, little theme music here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Hey, what's up, Smoke G? Yo, Noop. He's got a question already ready. All right.
Already.
But so go ahead and do your thing, Noop. In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child, for said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
You have a product you're passionate about, and now's the time to grow your online sales.
About to hit this
Klaviyo can help.
platform. We are going to hit
Officials
this
from the
platform
Federal
here.
Aviation Administration say there were no aircraft incidents or
Maybe we're not.
Have to see what's going on here.
Oh, it's not in there. Well, I'd never. All right, hold on, Self. All right, if you hit that refresh. And I'm looking at you guys' questions in the chat, and those questions will be lined up for this good brother. Yes. So today is going to be a child-friendly show. So we're keeping it PG-13. Self Love and I, we're going to refrain from adult language as best we can. As you guys know, as always, this live will probably be at least 3 hours. I mean, Ernest will be here for 2 hours, but we'll chop it up down the road and get some segments. Self Love, just thumbs me up whenever you're ready, bro.
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it going. And this is the platform. We can't do this alone.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless.
Yeah, buddy.
9,
9.
to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Yes, sir. Let's get that gap closed, people. Absolutely, absolutely. For anyone who missed it yesterday, if you guys don't know, the Self Love Show runs Tuesday and Wednesdays weekly at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. Pacific Time or specific. And then that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So for anybody who missed it yesterday, we did a show. It's called How Can Pinky Help? How can white people help as far as the urban communities, get back up on our feet? I think we, hit on some good points. What say ye, Self Love?
Absolutely. Let me get my camera back on. Yeah. It was a outstanding show. I felt we did a wonderful job, actually. Didn't say so myself. But we explored a lot of information. It was a lot of stuff I wasn't really aware of that was brought to our attention by the show.
Facts.
Great job putting that together.
Yes. And in a nutshell, you can start businesses in urban communities. And when you do it, you can hire Black folks. You can invest in businesses that's already owned by Black folks in urban communities. Quite frequently, we're at a money crunch so that we can expand and hire more folks. There's things that we can do on the education side, but I would implore you guys to check that out. It's nation building around here.
And it came with some great information, man. The community, having the community operate at like a co-op, that was, man, really, that could really work.
Yeah.
Now everybody would be vested in everybody's property and business.
Facts. Bro, did you hear about the UFO in Hawaii?
No, I haven't.
Hey, well, I pulled a quick video, and big ups to the YouTuber who put this up. If you could run that self, it's a relatively short video.
Officials from the Federal Aviation Administration say there were no aircraft incidents or accidents in this area Tuesday night, but multiple witnesses report seeing a large blue object fall out of the sky and into the ocean.
Something is in the sky. What is that?
This video was taken by Misitina Sape at 8:26 Tuesday night near Haleakala Avenue in Nanakuli. Not long after, a woman named Mariah spotted the same thing passing over Princess Kahanu Estates.
I don't know, it looked up. And then I was like, oh, started calling my husband in because we was all in the garage. I was like, hey, look up there. See what I see. They all said, yeah.
The 38-year-old says she's never really been a believer in UFOs, but the bright blue object had them so intrigued, they jumped in the car and started following it.
I don't know what it was. This one was going so fast.
The journey ended less than 3 miles from where it began, on Farrington Highway in front of the Board of Water Supply building, after the object appeared to drop into the ocean.
Oh, the going line in the water, whatever it is.
She described it as being larger than a telephone pole and says she never heard it make any sound.
We called 911 if I have like one cop or somebody for come out and come check them out.
While officers were on scene, she says they spotted a second light.
My husband went look up and he seen the white one coming. The white one was smaller, was coming in the same direction as the blue one.
They lost sight of the object after it passed over a nearby mountain.
White one's always going to be smaller.
This morning, we asked Honolulu police if investigators figured out what fell in the water. A spokesperson told us they didn't have any information. Meanwhile, officials from the FAA said they received a report from police Tuesday night about a possible plane down in the area, but had no aircraft disappear off radars and no reports of overdue or missing aircraft.
Man, it's like a UFO bar.
Although Mariah's had a couple days to think about it, she says she's still baffled by what she saw.
To this day, I don't know. If you guys can find out what it was, I'll let you know, you know what I mean?
Allison Blair, Hawaii News Now.
She was feeling good.
She was.
Hey, I'm confident, bro. If they are aliens, they are running the FAA and they are also in charge of NASA.
Man, they're doing a lot, I tell you that much.
The spokesperson goes straight to an alien or something, you know, those canned answers. But you saw the footage. I mean, what did it look like? 'Cause was it a drone? What was that, bro?
I don't know. You know what I mean? It's truly a UFO as far as I'm concerned. You know, I don't know what.
I mean, these are adults, right? You'd
Yeah.
think she'd know something that you've seen before, right?
Right, a drone or insect.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Her and her husband and all types of other cats. You'd think they'd know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something else tripped me out about the video.
what's that, bro?
The production value. It was a whole lot in one ear and then a whole lot of different in the other ear. That's how they was mixing it together. It was crazy. It was none of it was in both ears.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, I didn't even notice that, bro. I guess you'd
Yeah.
have to be a tech sound guy to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I need to upgrade my headphones, you know, maybe they're not doing they're supposed to be doing, you know, they came in with the package, you know what I mean? Podcast.
Yeah, but I would say that I would, you know, venture to say that they are better than these I have on.
Hey,
You know,
huh?
yeah, go ahead. I wouldn't, you know.
But I know I was gonna say the podcaster package should probably come with the gift of gab. You know what I mean? You get your microphone, you know, your camera, you know, and then the gift for gab.
Man, if they could sell the gift of gab, boy, be a lot of people in line, wouldn't they?
Hey, that sounds like a company or a charitable headed by your princess, bro. Huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's kind of in the line of Tory Wordsmith. Yeah. It's there you go.
Gabby.
There you go. You better get on it quick because it's out there. All right. Hey, so yeah, I want to get through this chat real quick. So some of them are questions. So we'll get those because the guest is about to come in, and we probably. So if you run through the chat, and I'll reach out to the guests to make sure we're all in alignment here. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, you can even go over the questions, but obviously we can't answer them. And like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and go over the tiers maybe.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let's like, share, subscribe, so we can get to these tiers, baby. The tiers, and not the ones that come out of your eyes. Once we get to 300 followers, I'm going to be regressed live on the show by Emerge the Brain Bullet. Looking forward to it. There's some questions that I have, some space and time that, you know, can't completely account for. In my incident when I got hit and run over, I want to know what's going on with that. So we're going to get there. And once we get to 499, 9, and his beautiful wife, Tasia, big ups, big ups, big ups, are going to skydive live on the show. And we have some more tiers, but more to come.
That is all correct. That is all correct. We're going to jump right out of that airplane. Yeah. According to Will Smith, Big Willism, he said it's a liberating experience. Yeah, you know.
Well, I can't really imagine because I haven't done it. So
I just want to, you know, I want to go by a bird or a flock of birds. You know, I don't want them to hit us. You know how when you see the birds walking, you're like, look at those birds walking. You know, you're looking at them and they're looking at you. You know, I want to have that moment with them where I'm flying and they're flying. Like, look at this guy.
Yeah. What is that? They'd be like, what the hell is he doing up here?
Yeah, you know how they walk funny and it's not very efficient. I'll be up there. Like, he's plummeting to the earth.
Like, what is he doing up here?
Yeah. Plummeting to the earth. Smoke G says bubbling brown sugar. I think he's making a reference to bubble bubbly by sugar makes me want to shout. Bubble bubbly by sugar shows what it's all about. Me. Bubble bubbly by sugar it makes me want to shout.
Yeah.
Bubble bubbly by sugar beat. You remember that, Sal?
I remember the first part, not the end. And I definitely wouldn't have remembered it all.
Hey, do your hosting. You see there's activity going on? Are you seeing that? Are you seeing what I see on the screen? So, Brother Raj, we're going to enter you and then we'll block your camera so we can give you your, we'll keep your camera off and keep you muted. And thank you so much, Ernest, so much. And we're going to keep you muted as we give you a proper intro. So we really appreciate that. So, Self, enough of the, yeah, you really need to get you some new glasses or something, bro. You know. But enough of the appetizers, bro. I don't think any of these people are here to, you know, see us, you know, go back and forth. So, can we get that promo video started, and then I'll give this legend a just and proper intro.
Yes, sir. Hold up 1 second here.
Yeah, I think it's towards the bottom. It's maybe some. I don't know if the order was. But you'll see.
It was some of the order. I just went back up top.
All right, here we go. Big ups to Bishop Mason. That's Bishop Mason preaching and praying in the background.
Brother Minister, I have to level with you. They gave me a mission, but I couldn't do it. I love y'all. What kind of mission? To wire your car so it would explode when you turn the ignition.
Send the rain, Jesus. Send the rain. Send the rain. Send the rain. Wonderful Savior.
We got you, brother. We got you. Just stand by.
Give the light of rain of your will to do, of your presence, give deliverance to all. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. If we pray in the Holy Ghost, let the healing virtue of Him. Send the rain. Send the rain. Send the rain. Send the rain.
Oh,
Hey, Raj, you're wrong. We don't have the worst football team in the city. We got.
All right, so Self, can you lower the volume, and I guess you can start over the promo video in the meantime. So we're bringing this legend of Hollywood screen and TV, Broadway. So we're introducing to the Self Love Nation Ernest Lee Thomas, and he's our brother by way of AZ, Alpha Zeta, Indiana State University. Also, author From Raj to Riches. As mentioned, he started in Broadway. He's also appeared in What's Happening. Thank you, brother. He also starred in What's Happening and What's Happening Now, as many of us from my era grew up on. Pretty much raised us. He also starred in Everybody Hates Chris. And my wife recurred in that series as well. There's a scripture I believe he hangs his hat on, and his mom. 23rd Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd. He hails from GI. And for some of you people who may not know, that's Gary, Indiana, the home of MJ, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, all the Jacksons. Big ups. Big Fred Williamson, Self Love, Big Fred Williamson from GI. Frank Borman, Denise Williams, Big Dog Glenn Robinson. Big Dog Glenn Robinson is from GI. William Marshall. So if you can stop that, and Self Love Nation, if y'all can help us honor this brother with a hearty welcome, and also if we can give him an electronic clap as well. So if we can get that started, Self, I appreciate you. All righty. Let's see here. All right. First, yo.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I got all my Kappa gear on today.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got my 50th AZ anniversary, and the brothers out in Rancho, they gave me this jacket like last year. So yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. So how many years have you been in the bond?
Actually, now it's 50, I think it's 53, 54.
Yeah,
it was 1969, 69.
You got to get the white jacket. We bought one of our brothers. They got that white jacket now.
No, I didn't. I didn't know that. Yeah, I want that. Yeah.
There's
I earned that jacket.
Only a few brothers can wear those, So
I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
They don't know. They just don't know.
Yeah, and before we begin, I wanted to just let everybody know you can pick up a novel, written autobiographical novel written by this brother, From Raj to Riches, which we'll touch on at some point. Also, he penned Conversations with My Mother. I'm extremely interested in reading that because that wisdom, man, that information is the key to success.
Yes, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, man. They look, they got those antennas. They got the mother antennas on. They see friends like you don't see them. you know, or so-called friends, or friends when they become they were friends at one point, and now they done changed. You think they're the same way. Mom said, that boy changed now. He looked at you a certain way, you know.
One phone call with a female friend. I don't like that girl.
Right.
You know, yeah. Who's her family? Yeah, one phone call. You know, you've been courting her for years, and you know, 5 minutes on the phone with your grandmother, and yeah, you better not see her no more. Yeah. But also now in March 2021, he's going to be starring in The Playhouse. It's a faith-based suspense thriller. And then Two Wolves, and that can be viewed on a free streaming service called, is it Tubi or Tubi? Am I saying? Tubi. Yes. And so for booking information, you can reach out to his management, Casey Caldwell Management. That's Casey with a K as in Kappa. And then you got Big Time Sports 3@gmail.com. And you can contact this brother on IG at Ernest Thomas. So yeah, we do all the plugging. And if there's anything else that you want the nation to know about before we jump into this, speak now, sir.
Oh yeah, just that The Playhouse is actually debuting in March. We did it like last year, so it'll be actually debuting in March. And we did it. Yeah. And he has another film. This same Bishop Wynn, he has his own streaming service, the Wynn Network. And so there's a film also called Mirror Mirror that's on Amazon. That's and he's not the typical faith-based. It's like thriller. You know, it's not boring, and I know a lot of them mean well, but you know, it's kind of boring. But this is exciting, got you wondering this and that. Yeah, so check it out in March. Yeah,
because Life is a faith-based thriller, if you will.
Isn't it? Ooh, I love that, brother. I never heard that. I love that.
Yeah, right.
Life is a faith-based thriller.
If you will, right? Because it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Yeah. So. Yeah, so Self Love, I know you wanted to welcome this brother too.
Welcome, brother. Thank you so much for doing this. It's a great opportunity for Self Love Nation to learn and get exposed to wisdom. I'm looking forward to this conversation because I know it's going to be a wonderful thing.
Thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me. Thank you, both of you, for inviting me and thinking of me. Yeah.
Thinking of you. He was number one. Remember, Self? I was like, yeah. You know, you were going to be the first guest, but then, you know, how God is, you know, we've gotten our things together. I mean, our first show was a complete disaster.
Okay.
You know, nothing worked. You know, our technical game wasn't together. So. So at least, you know, we're here. So
that's always the case of that first one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'm not going to ask where you were born and raised. I'll just throw that out there because we led out with that. He's from Gary, Indiana. So can you describe what it was like being raised there, and then what time period that you were being raised there, you know, as a boy, just for historical purposes?
Sure.
And when we go off camera, it's everything's working. You're just getting a close up. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it was actually, I was born in 1949. So born and raised there from 49. Then went to college in 67. But Gary was a village really did raise the family. You know, raise a child. You didn't lock your doors. I mean, we're in the projects, you know, but you had fathers were with their wives, with their children. I didn't know about it wasn't a lot of single. The only one was our household. My mother married, you know, had a stepfather, but I love that. You know, the men were there. They worked hard. On Sunday, everybody got the suit on, going to church. You know, I mean, that was just, you know, you knew that was without a gift. I don't see that anymore. And the teachers could discipline you. So you know, it's no thing as you talking back, or you, even if you were late, if they chose to, and the parents would like,
So
second it. Yeah,
when
okay,
you say
good.
discipline, do you mean shouting and saying, "Hey, don't do that," or what
Oh
type of
no, no,
discipline
no!
are we
I'm talking
talking
about
about?
with the paddle.
Yeah,
And
the
my
paddle.
teacher was a she was a Delta. My sixth grade teacher, Miss Thomas,
Ooh,
she was a
so
Delta.
she
I didn't
had
know nothing about
experience.
the Greek, but I said, why is she beating me with a paddle? So I didn't get. I said, well, this is a little too much. And she would tighten your pants, right? She'd grab your pants by the pocket and tighten it. And
Hey,
brother, she could swing that sucker, man. And
Tori,
she
show your
always had
shirt.
her Delta paddles on the wall. Yeah.
You see that shirt, brother? Read it for himself.
All wood, no paper.
All wood, no paper. So that's probably why. I'm sure you know now why, but
Right,
yeah.
yeah. I do know. Oh man, yes.
Okay.
Brother.
Well, I want to shift because I know we could talk about, Gary forever because I
Yeah.
know, Tori actually, does business in Gary.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's there like every day, literally.
Oh.
So it's been a lot of changes and things of this nature. But I wanted to ask you about interactions with your family elders and, any ancestors, any of that information that you'd like to, embark upon the Self Love Nation.
Yeah, I was really blessed that even though my father wasn't there, I had four uncles that just literally worshiped the ground I walked on, and I mean to the point they never talked about their kids, right? They would just come and get me to be alone with me. They didn't like take me to interact with their kids. And they didn't want me to be hit. I couldn't be disciplined. My grandmother was the same way. I could not be disciplined. And my pastor, Elder Chandler, who's Denise Williams' grandfather, he was also that male figure who would. I became a member of Pentecostal Church of God in Christ at 12.
Mhm.
And he always said from the pulpit, he would say, what I put inside Ernest, no man can take away. And it would bother me because kids got jealous, because he wasn't saying that about anyone else but me. But that was the type of love that got the cocoon that God put me in. And then recently doing my ancestry.com, I found out that I was 41% Nigerian, which is, I said, God has a sense of humor because I have never gotten along with Nigeria.
Well, no.
I ain't gonna lie. I said, sorry, Nigerian brothers. I'm cool with you now because we family. I'm just saying.
Hey, brother, we're big on reparations, and so since you said out here, he's what 40% Nigerian.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get 60%. You're gonna get 60% of your reparations.
Okay, all right. I like
Right?
that.
Yeah, right. See,
I'm with that.
there's a solution.
yes.
Right? There's a
Oh
solution.
yeah. Oh, reparations overdue.
Have you been to Africa since you mentioned Nigeria?
Never been, brother. Never been. I really want to go because I met people from. I was in the Martin Luther King parade a couple of years ago, and they had me with the people from Ghana because they ran out of cars. They would, you mind? I said, oh yeah. So they were just saying, oh, you got to come. You got to come and live there. You got to get a lot of celebrities are getting apartments there or houses there. So because I want to see that they said the door of no return.
Yeah.
I think that people break down and cry. I think President Obama went there and people just break because just the thought of that. It's like that can't be real. That's a movie, but it did happen. So I really
It's
want
still
to go.
standing. Like supposedly the boats. That's where the boats and the Africans knew that you never come back once you go through there. They never see you again.
Lord. Woo, Lord Jesus.
That is, man, powerful.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder though, because if that was here, we'd be yanking it down right now. And it's a philosophical question.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I feel about like these monuments, bro, is I feel like slavery is a shame of the enslavers.
Yes.
And so when they mature enough and when they decide that they want to take their dirty sheets down,
Yes.
from hanging in the public, you know, then we'll know we're healed. But I don't think it's appropriate for me to go yank down their dirty sheets. If they want to, you know, I'll just bring my kids and say, hey, look at those
that.
dirty sheets.
Yeah,
that's a good point. If they do it, you're right. That would be powerful. They take them down. You're right, brother. I never thought of that. That would be great.
I was in Brazil, and where they brought slaves and they held them before they sold them, and the energy there, man. Oh my God, it was.
Oh, you felt that?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
It was
a lot of
everybody felt it, and I'm like, it is very much imprinted. I'm an empathic type of guy, but everybody felt it. It was like no way you could not feel it. You know, they had us walking on a little walkway, but it was water in there, and they said they would keep them in 3 to 4 feet of water.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
Brother.
Man.
Oh my God, brother.
Man,
that's why I can't, you know, I've lied over the years and told people I watched Roots and I was in Roots, but I can't do it. I think the young people, but personally, those films about slavery and the civil rights and the hangings and all that, I can't.
You know, that's how Tasia is. Tasia can't watch them either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you were almost LeVar Burton, not LeVar Burton, but
Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, you were runner up, right?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I had a little resentment. No,
your lips weren't big enough. Your lips weren't big enough. That was the only issue. You know, that was it. That was. I mean, I said it. You didn't, brother.
Hey, brother. You know, that's what they said. Well, he looked more like he'd be related. You know. Yes. So. But LeVar, he did when he was on.
He did a great job.
He did say we were both up for, but he did a great job.
He did.
He was tripping initially because they created a role for me because they loved my screen test so much that they created a role. When I got there, you know, he had turned his back, you know, on me when I came to the trailer. And I said, brother, you know, we're black, man. We can't afford to do that. I got what's happening. I wanted Roots too, but I got something. You got that? And then he eased up. We were cool from then on. But that initial thing, I don't know why, because he had the role, you know. But since then,
he pulled that Gary Indiana out of him, you know. Hey, look, man, right? You're gonna be turning your back on me. I'm gonna be hitting you in the back of your head. Or something. Hey, come on, LeVar. I mean, LeVar. You know, I haven't met many LeVars, but you know, hey, but big ups to LeVar Burton, brothers.
Yes.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I would say big ups to LeVar Burton.
Yeah, absolutely. Seriously. Yeah, but I want to go through the chat because there's some questions for you, brother, in the chat here. So I want to respect them. Smoke G 1016. First question for Raj. Ernest, how did he like working with Shabba-Do when the lockers were on What's Happening? So that's some sort of breakdown.
Shabba-Do. Oh, my Lord, brother. You know, that kid, man, has such an innocence, you know. He would just had like I just want to know, like a sponge, and he just asking me questions like, you know, how did you get started, and you know, just my history. But he just was so eager every word, you know, and I just love that energy. And when he danced like his life depended on it, you know. So he did. He danced like I'm gonna die. I gotta make sure I get it all in. So I was really happy for his success, and we talked just because I told TV1 to get a hold of him for the documentary on What's Happening when they did the unsung, and so they did. I was glad they included him in there.
Yeah. Well, we have another question. This is from Patrick Pender. He's a made noob from Kappa Alpha I State, and he says, peace, Raj. He says, what's the difference between the industry then as opposed to now?
Oh, man. It's now there's no excuse, you know, for not making it. And I was at a seminar a couple of years ago, and they had all the celebrities there, and everybody talking about, oh, you know, the whites should do more scripts. They're not thinking of us, and they should. I said, you know what? I'm sorry, y'all. I can't engage in this conversation. You know, we are the most copy culture in the world with hip hop. Thank God for hip hop. because hip hop made that possible. I mean, you got Russia, China, Korea, you know, and I've talked to Koreans where they said their parents might be prejudiced, right? But they got they got Ice Cube talking about Koreans with the boombox. They imitating us. So I said, are you kidding me right now? Y'all doing this pity party, and we're the most copied culture in the world. And on top of that, we're a wealthy nation. We're a trillions of dollar nation. All we have to do is pool our money together. So I'm sorry. I wish y'all would stop singing that same old sad song. The white man don't respect you for that, because all you have to do is you can turn around like that, man, like that. If Jesse and all the leaders at a meeting with the baseball players, but all the people that got the monies, okay? And just like the Mormons did when they were the one religion, the outlaw. They killed the leader, thought that was the end of it. The Mormons, okay, we're going to stick together and pool our monies. They're the richest religions in the world. They don't have no welfare. They got no unemployment because they circle their dollars among themselves. I said, stop this. Stop this pity party, right? And now you got the worldwide, and you got the World Wide Web. You don't need Warner Brothers Smith. You don't need Def Jam's permission. You start your own thing. You can start your own label. You can put a thing of webisodes and get chosen or get enough hits, and you can get wealthy from YouTube. You got YouTubers now. You know, I know a black kid I met at a play. And I said, what do you do? He said, oh, I'm a YouTube star. I went, what is that? He said, oh, I make 40,000 a month. I said, you make what? He said, 40. I said, what do you, oh, I do little skits and I do a little musical thing. So you got the World Wide Web with the most copied culture in the world. And we're trillions of I don't understand this pity party. And you know what? Only the young people cheered me on. Only young people, the kids from the colleges there. And they told me later, they said, brother, don't tell that speech to them. They will never get it. They say, your generation, they will never get it. We're uniting. It's starting among them where they help each other, like Spielberg did with Brian De Palma and George Lucas and all those and Scorsese. They were competitors, but they helped each other. These are broke white boys, but they helped each other. And when one got it, they went, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll make that film happen." American Graffiti. Since the studio is lazy about it, then the studio it put it out. It was a big hit, but because we don't do it.
Right.
That love, that self love.
We have to do that. Yes.
We need that, brother. I can tell you, I've seen. You try to go to let me stop. No, I can't. But you understand what I'm saying? Overnight, brother. This is a no-brainer. But the young folks, when I was in Georgia at the Peachtree Film Festival there, the kids were telling me they're the same thing. They went, man, you don't get it. They're gonna say that same thing 10 years from now. They're gonna say the same thing 20 years from now. They say your generation, they do not get it. They don't get how powerful we are right now, right this minute.
Yes.
Wow. All right. We got some more in there, but we'll get back to the chat because there's some good stuff in there, brother. But this is a question we've asked every guest that's sat on this platform. What advice, looking back, and I know many of us, our knee-jerk reaction is to say, I wouldn't change a thing. So not asking you to change a thing, but what advice or bit of information, if you could time travel and you saw 9-year-old Ernest Thomas, pardon me, sir. You saw 9-year-old Ernest Thomas, wandering around Gary, maybe going to the corner store, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh man. I would say, kid, it's rough right now, but you do know God, you do know Christ, and you're gonna have to believe in him like like your life depended on it. You have to believe in God more than breath right now, than the breath you breathe, because you got the black kids at your school bullying you. You go to the South, you got the white, you got to say yes sir, no sir to the white kids. And with Emmett Till being killed in that photo in Jet magazine, my folks made sure that I said yes sir, no sir to white kids, whoever. So I got to go to school, to all black school, and you can't be smart. You can't talk like the teacher because you're trying to be white. All right. You got hand-me-down clothes, right? So they called me nappy head, they called me monkey, things you would think you would get from a white school. This is black school, right? And they are taking your lunch money. I'm skinny. I'm a skinny little kid, right? And you just want to. I started playing hooky, so I would tell, it was a lot of stress. Because they're like, will this ever end? Yeah, thank God I believed in Jesus Christ because I needed him. But still in the flesh, being human, knowing you got to go to school the next day, and those same people, right? And that silent majority that lasts with the bully, they ain't going to take up for you. They ain't going to say this ain't right, because just one or two bullies, it's not, but the silent majority, they are the worst in any age. But I would tell that young kid, man, just hold on to Jesus with a death grip, because it's gonna get better. You will win. Then that will be, you're going to win, and you won't remember those bullies, but they're gonna know your name.
Well, Noop, one of our credos around here is silence is violence, and the reason we say that is because if you see something, say something. And we fancied ourselves kind of, the anti-bullies. So from the outside looking in, someone would say, oh, look at those guys, they're fighting or they're doing this and they're doing that. And no, we were the ones who would say something. And then when you say something, you put yourself in that line of fire and you have to be ready to do something quite frequently. So
yes,
yeah.
Silence is violence. Man, y'all got some gems, man. I love that. Yeah. Silence is violence.
Yeah, well, silence is violence in that sense, and but glory to God for those gems. And for anybody who doesn't know, we are here with Ernest Lee Thomas, and most of us know him from What's Happening Now, also Malcolm X. I know my generation, we were Malcolm Xers, coming through in the 90s. We loved Dr. King, and I was ignorant when it came to Dr. King. He was a gangster. He was a G. I was ignorant. Yeah. Man, yes. I only got the information that they fed to me about Dr. King. So as I got older and was able to read and pay attention, I was like, wow, I had him all wrong, and no wonder they murdered him.
Yes. No wonder they murdered him. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, because if he was so peaceful, and I mean, he was about God, but he was talking about poverty and ending poverty.
Yes, brother. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yes. So, but also, he's written his autobiography, From Raj to Riches. Also, Conversations with My Mother. The Playhouse is a faith-based suspense thriller. That's a film, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we got Two Wolves, and that's streaming on Tubi. And if you want to reach them for bookings, Casey Caldwell Management, that's with a K like Kappa, and you can reach Casey Caldwell at Big Time Sports, and that's the number 3 at gmail.com, or you can contact Ernest at Instagram, Ernest Lee Thomas. So wanted to get that out there. And once again, bro, Noop, thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to me.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
Now, I did, and I got a lot of questions from us basketball playing brothers. A lot of us played ball when we were in school and afterwards. Who taught you how to dribble a basketball and the love? We used to talk about that as kids. Now, we felt like Dwayne. I was like, Dwayne looked like he could hoop a little bit, but I was like, Raj, with all due respect, brother, I was like, this kid looks like he's never seen a basketball.
Brother, I knew nothing. I never played basketball, but I was an asthmatic, right? So I didn't participate in sports, so I didn't know nothing about that at all. And as I look at, I said, "Oh, look at this fool! Look at this fool! Boy, sit your butt down somewhere." Oh my
but you know,
Lord.
it made the intro. I mean, you got to understand that was part of the magnetic. That was all part of it. That wasn't it the oratory? That was all part of it.
Yeah.
You know, the banter in the beginning of running down the street with the ball, and I'm like, look at Raj. Raj, we wouldn't have let you carry. There's some guys you don't let carry the gun, right? And there's some guys you don't let carry the ball. Like Raj,
brother.
Yeah, you're scaring the girls away, but
and you know what? This is the only time anyone ever brought that up. I swear. In the 44 years of the show, no one ever. I'm like, does anyone know?
Nah, you're not gonna get away with that.
No.
And you started saying, man, that's why I laughed so hard. I swear, no one has ever in an interview brought that up. I'm like,
every time I see it, and then he was handling the ball on What's Happening Now. I was like, right? Because see, so like you care about your acting. I cared about basketball. So when What's Happening Now came out, I was like, come on, he could have gotten somebody to teach him how to dribble that thing. You know what I mean?
I should have got better. Hey, I should have got better by then, right?
or you know, write it out. You know, you tell your manager, no.
My Lord, brother! I cannot believe you asked me that. You're the only one. I'm not lying to you. Yeah,
we digress. Excluding Ernest Thomas, whom do you most attribute for your success?
Man, let me think about that for success. I would say definitely. I would say my grandmother definitely believed. Yeah, my mother doesn't watch anything, you know, and I love her. She's Jesus to the ninth power, and but sweetheart, you love her, but she couldn't tell you about what's happening. Everybody, she never saw Malcolm X, but my grandmother at least would watch Tom Jones. So my grandmother wanted me to be on TV. So I would definitely, but the number one person, even beyond grandma, is his name is Jake Smith. Jake Smith. I had a Capital brother named Ivory Smith, and he had an older brother that came to college, and he just adopted me as his young brother, and everything I said would make him laugh. So I started making, doing all kind, putting the pillow under my t-shirt, looking pregnant, and just anything I could do to make him laugh. And he's the one that told me that I was an actor. So he's in Gary right now. He didn't want I tried to make him a manager. He didn't want anything but for me to be successful. And I said, everybody deserves a friend like Jake Smith. He had been in the Army for 2 years. People feared him because he was not that person who was a friendly, he just was aloof, but he just took to me. And even his brothers and sisters didn't understand. I just think that God orchestrated that. Because I never want to be an actor. Never ever. And he kept saying, I said, man, I'm gonna be a social worker. He said, no, you're an actor. You can do the same thing they're doing on that TV and in the movies. So he believed, he made me believe that. He believed in it more than I believed in it. I caught on later. So Jake Smith, Gary, Indiana. Yeah.
Jake Smith, big ups. And I was gonna ask, and then I was doing some research about it, and I came across the I think the answer for it, but I just kind of wanted to address it. Gary, Indiana is like 15, 20 minutes away from Chicago, on a good day, good traffic. We go there, we get our tobacco products cheap because the Indiana tax, the gas is much cheaper. And people from GI would frequent Chicago, for movie theaters, go downtown, for the shopping and certain restaurants and stuff like that. So Preach from the film Cooley High. And this is kind of likening to what you were saying, how we need to support our own stuff. But Raj always reminded me of Preach. But then as I got older, as I got older, I start watching Cooley High again. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. There was a lot more depth to Preach than I ever knew, right? A lot more depth. So I saw an interview when you were saying you read for Raj's character and you went back in there and you explain, can you and you explain to them what you thought the character was about?
Yes, yes. Because in the film, because it's based on what's happening is based on Cooley High.
Yeah.
And they went to all the major cities, like over 200 actors. They were trying to get an unknown for that role. And so he was more street, he played the, with the dice and all that. And so when I auditioned, the last time I auditioned was with this guy who was like a Jerry Lewis. This brother was so gifted, man. And he just had the faces, and I figured this guy got it. So I said, I got to go in here and talk. And I went and I said, can I talk to you guys? And I said, you know what? To me, Preach, at that time we were still calling him Preacher. He is like every man, he's like every teacher's favorite student. He's every mother's favorite child.
Yes.
He's every man's like best friend, he's every girl's ideal mate.
Yes.
And they looked at me like, okay, well, whatever. Thanks for sharing. So I went, oh no, I really messed up, right? But they did. It meant something, but they didn't show me that it meant anything, but it did. And thank God. I think that actually saved it. That actually clinched it for me,
Yeah.
Because that was more akin to me too. Is my mother was saying that it was a sin to be too nice, because I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Like I'm open. She said I'm too open to people, and people can hurt you. But that's that Raj sort of thing. He just was always people pleasing. He would just overdo it for his friends and all. And so
it's about the experience. It's all about the experience, and that's probably what makes you a great actor. I always identify with Preach and also the Raj character. Preach probably more so. Well, Raj when I was younger, and Preach, I did. It gave a guy like me a chance. Raj particularly, he cared, about his books. He was writing. You know what I mean? I'm a wrter. So it gave a space for a cat like me in the community. I just wish, I don't know why they made that in LA. I just wish they had done that in Chicago, since it was based on Cooley High, man.
I know. I wish they could have too. Well, I forget the first pilot we did we did part of it in Chicago. Yeah, we filmed part of it. No one, and I wish I could get that, but I was so angry that it was called Cooley High. The pilot was called Cooley High. Dorian Harewood was in it, he played Jesse Owens, and he played Cochise.
Yeah.
And the guy who was Damon, who actually kills Cochise, he was in it. And Gary Morris, the teacher, he was in it.
Yeah.
So we had to do a lot, and it's just the ABC said it wasn't funny enough, but they said, "Oh, Ernie, you should definitely get a copy of this for your reel." But I was so depressed about it, and now I wish I had it. But we actually filmed. Like several scenes in Chicago. I wish they could just show that on TV. That original pilot, because I thought it was very good. Yeah.
Well,
Glenn Sherman did such a great job. Glenn was, he really made that part, memorable, too.
And then I saw in an interview that you said you were kind of tongue in cheek but upset with your manager at the time. Or like you literally cried when you went to Chicago to watch Cooley High. Like, that's me. Like, that's supposed to be me. I've had that feeling in movies, but I'm not an actor, so I can only imagine how you felt.
So, brother, man, I was so, and you know how I don't like people talking in the movie theater, but I'm talking my friend. I said, wait a minute, that should be me. That Ernie, man, we're trying to watch the movie, man. Be quiet. I said, no. I called the agent. I was upset, man. They said, Ernie, they hire people from California, like that. But as God would have it, wouldn't you know it, man? It's just the divine timing, right? Because I feel this urge to go to California. My agent in New York didn't tell me to go. They said, look, don't go to California, because you're going to be back in 6 months. They got all the black actors they need there. And I said, no, I'm going, and I'm going to get me a TV show. you know, and because my grandmother kept talking about when are you gonna be on TV, and then she died. So I go there, and wouldn't you know how God would talking about divine orchestration now. I still have that, you know, Cooling High on the Brains and Preacher. And then I'm doing the Jeffersons, my first TV thing, and one Isabel Sanford's agent mentions to me, "Hey, there's a new pilot called Cooley High. I think he'll be perfect for it." So I called but just, you know, I mean, it's like Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so Glenn got a chance to have glory for that and get all the accolades. And Glenn and I have, you know, I love him. You know, I when he was just in that Ma Rainey as a play. I went to see him, of course he's doing the movie, but it was like heaven on earth when it happened. You know, I thought now the thing about how we just make our problems for ourselves. So now I got the part, you being recognized by people, and people like Dr. Maya Angelou who they love you, Muhammad Ali, people you admire, right?
Yeah.
Now I think I'm gonna die. And now I think I'm gonna die because life can't be this
perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would tell young people, when it happens, baby, enjoy the journey totally. I mean, I had not that I didn't, but I was not all the way there because I thought any minute, I don't know, someone was gonna shoot me or was gonna just drop dead of a heart attack, and all that waste of energy, right? Because how can life be this good with Sidney Poitier's calling you and saying, "I want you to be in piece of the action." You know, I watch you on TV. You know, James Earl Jones, people you admire, you know, again, people you admire.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just, I mean, Sidney Poitier, I was staring at him so much, I was like stalking him on the set because could not believe the person I used to watch in black and white, Lilies of the Field, and all these, you know, guests who come to dinner. And he like, "Hey, snap out of it." Snap out of it. We got a movie to do here. I thank you. I know you love me. We got to do a movie. The same thing with Ali. He would tell me, hey, tell him stop all that shit. You know, he said, "Look, he said, I'm just another nigga, you know, trying to get bigger." That's what he would say. You know, he said, "Don't make me more."
Well, I saw you there. I saw you talking about Ali, and what he meant for you, you know, in different points in your life. And, you know, I went to school in Hyde Park, like literally a couple of blocks from one of his homes, you know, when he lived in Chicago. And he would, so you said like he took you to the neighborhood in Compton, I guess, just to be on the block and talking to people.
Yes.
And I knew that was true because he would literally just be out running and stop and talk to us and talk to the kids and, you know, and he was just so gracious, and the hope and the inspiration that it gives you, like, this is Muhammad Ali, and he's not talking to you like, do this and do that.
No. He messing with you, you know, playing around with you, you know. And I said, "So why are we going to Compton?" He said, "To make the people happy." You know, so why are we going to South Central? Why are we going to Watts? You know, he said, "Oh, let's go to Cedar Sinai." You know, "Oh, let's go and visit the sick people there." And they couldn't believe Ali was there. You know, of course he's bigger than me, but also I was there. But just making peace. This is why we got it. This is why God gave it to us.
Yes.
All that 3 times heavyweight champion, all the money, that don't mean nothing. This is what I love to do. They can have all that. You know, for me to make somebody happy, that's what I enjoy doing.
Correct. And I know what you mean, but it doesn't mean nothing like the money and the fame. You know, so if you remember, I just wrote a verse about that. And it's because that's what God is telling me. Like the whole point of everything, the whole point of fame is to exalt his name. So if you can bring joy to somebody and make a sick person healthy just by walking there and saying hello, and you can do it, why would you not do that? So then your reward is going to be the money, so that you're already taken care of, the big homes and everything like that. But if you're just going to go around going to strip clubs and all of that, I mean, teach his own. I leave my gavel, but you can do that and do so much more on top of it.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Like you said, simple stuff. Just drive through O Block and you know, and talk to the people over there and ask them, why are you shooting each other?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Yes, man. Yes.
Without security, without cameras, without fanfare.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
But now, as a silverback, and the reason we refer to our certain one of us as silverbacks is because we want our silverback. We're pushing for reparations, cut the crap, cut the check. We've listened to blah blah
Yes.
blah for 400 so years. We've watched other people get compensated. We're watching bills get passed to this day, fixing the
Yes.
problems at the border and money going here and
Yes.
there. And God bless everybody. God bless.
Right. Right.
Back to
Right.
us, the foundational
Yes.
Black Americans, and that 60% of you. Now,
Yes.
now, what advice would you give to a young man, in the streets of Gary, in Chicago, in today's climate? And I'm asking you to do it. A lot of folks will say, "Well, I'm not there, and I've been gone a long time," but just from the fact that you are from there, and that is your root, and you're an elder. So, what would you say is key for them?
You know what? It's like to know who you are, to know you are from divine lineage, that the first man, Adam, of color, God breathed his breath. Everybody came from us. And that don't mean we have to look down on people, but every race. I mean, the white man will tell you that, Leakey, anthropologists, everybody knows that, but a lot of white people are in denial, but a lot of my white friends know, but Black kids need to know. And because my pastor, Elder Chandler, Gospel Temple Church of God in Christ, he told me Jesus is not white. Jesus is like, he brown, or he's color. He has that man of color. So I knew that at 12 years old. So that made me walk a certain way, right? That the creator of all, right? So they need to know I think didn't start at slavery,
Correct.
It didn't even start, and way before all that, the beginning, God and us, all right, like this. Once you know that, you have that divine nature, brother. You walking like that you have that, and God, he dwells in you, are his child. You are made in his image, right? That you can do, and don't be apologizing for your success. Please, I said, no, God never apologized for creating the sun, the moon, the galaxies. No, I'm saying, yes, I'm all that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I am. Thank you. And by God's grace, thank you. Yes. Yeah, I liked it too. I saw my movie again last night. I loved it too. You got too many of the Christians, they make it so sad, but God, you got to walk with authority. You got to walk like you are. You are a child of the King. You are a king. You are, as they said, as Jesus said, when they say God with a small g, that don't mean I would say I'm God, but it, in the literal sense, it is there because we are his child. So
in heaven as it is on earth.
Thank you. If we really got that, I want the Black baby. You are more than Gary, Indiana, and mom and dad, and mom on crack or whatever. I don't care. If you had that personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and thank God I did, in spite of seeing my mother get a butt whooped by these stepfathers, and I'm too young, I'm 3, 4 years old. What can I do? But the fact that I had that connection, man. I can see why kids commit suicide today
because they don't have
bullied and all this going on.
Nothing. They have nothing.
They got, man. They just like, oh, brother, you don't know what if you knew, And my proteges, I manage kids, so it's a rough job though. But the ones I did, they knew that. I will make sure, we're gonna have a history lesson here. So you don't walk around. You walk around with you're gonna walk like royalty. You're gonna know who you are. When you walk into a room, your very aura gonna change that room, the temperature of that room, because the divine God lives inside of you. When you walk in the room and you say it, you speak it. I can do all things to grow. You walk in and I've seen it.
You're moving the vibrations,
brother, I've seen it, but people have a frown on their face. You walk in the room, they can't help because they can't help. I'm prayed up. Ain't nothing you can do with me. I'm prayed up, brother. I got the sword in hand. What?
there's
No.
and so I'm gonna throw it to you because I know you got some questions after all of this chatter. But there's two things just based off what you just said I wanted to comment on. The first, when you were saying, yeah, I mean, exalt his name, like don't be, Yeshua or Jesus, they said he wore the finest clothes or raiments. That was for a reason. He wasn't walking around dirty and ragged and tattered. No, it's not necessary. That's not even godlike.
No.
You're supposed to shine. You're supposed to be at your best. Now, if you're at your bottom, then you can get up and someone can pull you up. But yes. And then another aspect I wanted to comment on is the whole. You said that Christ looked like the kid in Gary, for instance, or looked like one of us, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I had a revelation about 10 years ago, and this is to Black people. Yeah. Which I suggest that I believe that Jesus was Black, then that means that those that crucified him were also Black. And that's something in us that we can't have it both ways. We can't say Jesus was Black and those that killed him were white.
Right. No.
That's what's sick in us.
Yeah.
See, if we understood,
right.
yes, it's balanced. So if we understood that, okay, those that chose Barabbas over Jesus, us.
Yes. That's right, brother. That's a good
Our
point.
community would be a lot better.
Yes. I love that.
But go ahead, Self Love. I know you got some stuff here.
Yeah. I saw an interview and I was wondering, you talked about voices that not yours that can negatively affect you. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, I especially when I became as an actor, everybody was against it, because I had gotten my BS degree, and then I went a year on my master's, and then I got a great job at this all-white steel mill. But by that time, I had already auditioned for the American Academy in New York, and I gotten accepted. So everyone thought I was crazy when I leave this job, the only Black in that position. I leave this job to go to acting school, start all over again. So I had to really, become deaf to, even with my mother, deaf in the Church of God in Christ, because you're going to hell now. You can't do anything like that with secular.
You can't even stand next to someone smoking a cigarette and coach.
Thank you.
You're going to hell. You're standing next to that guy smoking.
Thank you. So they thought, and Denise Williams, same thing. We were both like hell bound, so you're dealing with that. And even the frat brothers, my frat brothers, they couldn't understand. No one all they knew, oh, you got this great job. So I was reading these books, thank God my friend Rick was giving me these books like Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics,
Yes.
And those books really, it empowered me, to like, and some people said I might have gone overboard, but if I tell you that I'm going to be an actor, and you tell me about how hard it is and what you think, I excommunicated you right then and there.
Man.
Oh yeah, I mean, my best friend.
Man.
People couldn't believe. My mother said, "You ain't talking to Eric anymore." I said, "No, Mom, he doesn't believe in me." She said, "Well," and she said, "Well, what?" I said, "He said,
yeah.
What did you talk to him?" I said, "Yeah, he apologized, but I know he lying."
Yeah,
man.
I don't take your apology just because you apologize. That's true. You lying. You just you don't want to let go of the friendship. All right. So I let go. And my auntie, I'm telling you how my auntie didn't believe. And for 20 years, I did not talk to my auntie. When the Kappas in LA wouldn't let me stay at the on Crenshaw, empty building.
Yeah.
Once I looked at them, I sat there and I said in my mind, I will never be back here again. And so it was not until in 95, a brother in New York, God bless him, I can't think of his name, Jonathan Hicks, he's the editor of the Kappa magazine. He called me and asked for an interview. I said, "No, man, I'm done with the Kappas." He said, "Well, don't punish us because of one group. the whole frat, and so it made sense. And so then I got back, and then I was doing the scholarship things. I met
but let me say this:
and,
if they had a house, you were supposed to have a house.
Man,
and just know this, brother, and I'm not putting it in the universe. I don't have much space here, me and Tasia. But if you ever need a space, any brother out there, you know what I mean. If you
I believe
show your shirt,
I totally believe
show your shirt, because I don't want to say any brother. Your shirt, Self. Yes, any brother who's all wood, no paper, who understands what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And that needs a place, we can get you back to, where you need to be. And because that's what the bond is all about. And I know how you feel. I was going in about Colin Kaepernick, and we'll talk about that in a less private. Yeah. I mean, I was supporting that brother from,
my Lord.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, don't get me started.
I didn't know he was a nuke for a long time.
Yes.
He's a nuke. What?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. So, well, let me ask you. Let's see. Well, I wanted to hit the chat because there was some stuff in there.
I got one more question. Who have you worked with that impacted you the most?
Oh man, I would definitely say Sidney Poitier. Definitely Sidney Poitier, and wait, someone else though. Sidney Poitier. Oh, Denzel. Man, what am I talking about? Man, because Sidney, it was like a fun thing. He wasn't really doing like his dramatic thing. He was just doing it. Like being funny. But Malcolm X, brother.
Yeah.
To see that brother's dedication, where he would just turn into Malcolm, and then if he would go into Denzel, Malcolm was still there,
Right.
And not only that, he gave us, he would just give you words of wisdom. He would tell me, like, we were doing a scene, and you're trying to do it exactly like you did the verse. He says, "Man, don't do that, man." He said, "Just be in the moment." Don't let it, I'm gonna try to hit that same note, and let it just be real, because that's what the people are gonna feel. Right. So when you do a take after take, just let it come. Don't try to do the same thing you did before, and that was great, because I'm trying like, I want to do it, because if Spike liked it, you're like, okay, well, let's make sure I'll stay in that line of emotions. But that was a great note, and he says that perfection is boring. Yeah, perfection is boring. Just be in the moment. Don't care how it look. You ain't trying to make your face a certain way. That's the fire, right? Yeah, that's the fire. And how that his wife, Pauletta, that there would be no Denzel, because for 6 months he didn't have an audition when he first started out. He was gonna quit. And she said, "Oh no, I got this. I got the bills." You got it. You go ahead and do your thing, and the rest is history.
That's right.
And you do, but when you do that stuff, you do it out of love. You don't do it with contention, and
No, man. No, he told me
because you block your blessings. Yeah.
Yes, man. Yeah. And then a lady had a son, a rebellious kid. He was 17 years old. His sister, and she said, "Would you think Denzel would talk to my?" I said, "Baby, I don't really know him like that to ask, but I'm gonna ask him. I'll ask him. Why not?" So it was midnight. We've been shooting all day, and I got the nerve to knock on this man's trail. I said, "Denzel, this lady, she came all the way from Ypsilanti, Michigan, and her kid has been." He said, "Oh no, I see. Oh no, bring him in." He talked to that kid for about an hour, man. No lie. I'm like, I kept trying to interfere. Like after 15 minutes, okay. He said, "Ernie, don't worry about it, man." Then after 30 minutes, come on, y'all. And he said, "No."
Okay. Well,
he took the time, man.
Well,
and
I'm not the lady
that affected that kid,
Well, I'm not a lady from Ypsilanti, but can you, as Denzel,
Self Luv Show?
Well, no. Can you ask Denzel if he'll run for president of the United States? Because I'd love to vote for that man. I mean, right? He'd be Ronald Reagan 3.9.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah, man.
He'd be a spiritual version of Ronald Reagan.
Wow, man, you ain't lying.
A foundationally black Barack
Yeah.
Obama.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. 'Cause his faith is strong, man.
Yes.
His faith is strong. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
well, we have a question here. Someone said they Smoke G said he loved the episode with the Doobies, with the Doobie Brothers. What was it like
Yes.
working with the Doobie Brothers on the show?
Yes, I love it too. My favorite. Yes.
All right. You got any memories of working with the Doobie Brothers? Did you meet them or?
They have some good doobies. I mean, I don't do the doobie anymore, but I'm just saying, baby.
I was
brother,
gonna ask
I'm telling you.
Tori, I was just thinking Doobie Brother. I was just thinking, yeah,
brother,
right?
Brother, they had some weed. I'm telling you, I thought I saw Jesus. I said, Lord, I know that ain't you, Lord.
If I had put
that weed
together.
was some. We was at Michael McDonald's house. Yeah, we went to his house, and I'm like, this is the life, man. You know.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, one of the other guys said, yeah, he built his mother an identical house.
Wow.
You know. And I went, oh, I love that man now. Good Lord, man. He looked out for his mother.
Wow.
And they were just so humble, you know?
Yeah.
They just had no attitude about none of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had some doobies. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
That's funny.
Tasia Sherelle says, thanks, my dear friend Ernest, for gracing the Self Luv Show. And she's got blessed hands.
Oh, man. Tasia, your wife, I told her, she's A-list. Man, baby girl she is a superstar, man. Yeah, but she don't leave nothing on the table. She'll stand toe to toe with anyone out there. I'm telling, I don't care if she was Meryl Streep, I don't care who it is, you would know Tasia gonna be right there. She gonna be all in it, you know? She got that, man, major fire. Love her.
Yeah, well, you ain't telling me nothing about somebody.
I know, right? I know you know.
Major fire, man. But I feel you. And big ups to Tasia. That's the CEO, the COO. You know,
right?
What I mean?
That's right.
The producer. You know, but yeah, very sweet and
yes, and sweet. Yes, and sweet.
Yeah, and thanks for those words. You know, I'm sure that's gonna.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's gonna mean a lot. Because I was gonna ask you what it was like working with her, but I was gonna save that for later. All right. We're still in the chat. It's let's see. Patrick said, "Yo, Noop, it's an honor." And then we have Big Nick, South Florida Accountability. Big Nick, what's up? Thanks for your support,
up,
King.
Nick? Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a pretty big YouTuber, and what he does, his platform, brothers, he stamps out tyranny. Like they go around and assert, our rights, and they'll he'll videotape himself interacting with the police and other government officials. And yeah, and he's out in Florida, and he's showing us, how to move and what our rights are. And he graced us on the show, and my cat deleted it. I don't know what happened. Big Nick, man, we need you to do it again, please. I hate to ask you, Big Nick.
Oh, that's great, man.
Were you in that movie? Let's Do It Again. Speaking of Let's Do It Again.
No, I love that movie. Jimmy Walker was in it, and and Bill Cosby, and man, Denise Nicholas was so funny in there too. I think she was fun. I've never seen her that. She was playing all gangster, in there. And I love that. I think of the three, I think that's my favorite one. I know because Uptown Saturday Night, even the one I was in, I loved it. But to me, Let's Do It Again. Yeah, it just had every element there.
Even the soundtrack, like it.
That soundtrack, brother. Brother, oh my God.
Yeah.
Brother. Yes.
Yeah. And then I'd say you mentioned Coolie High. Coolie High is still one of my greatest movies of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, one of the all times.
How did you like The Warriors? I put on my Warriors vest. I know that's kind of your era.
Yes. Oh, no one talks about that. I love The Warriors, man.
Yeah.
I've seen that film so many times. Yes.
Have you ever met the black actor in there? He was the war chief, and then you never who were those guys?
Never met him, man. I wish I could. Yeah. Is he alive? Do you know?
I think they were New Yorkers or something. So that
I hope it would be great. You should get him on there, man.
That'd be great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I love that.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, and I'd have my jacket on because that was a great film.
Wasn't it, man? Oh my Lord. Yes. Yes.
So we I know I'm not gonna hold you up all day, but we want to just take
Okay.
a quick break, brother. It's like a 6-minute break. And
Okay.
then we'll get into more of what you're doing now,
Okay.
and
Sure.
then some more chat questions, and then we'll wrap it up if that's okay with you, sir.
I'm fine. That's fine with me. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, I appreciate you. So, Self Love, we're gonna stop his camera and mute him. And chat, let's keep those questions coming. And Noop, we'll see you back here in about 6 minutes. 6
All
minutes.
right.
Do it.
All right. See you then.
All right, yo. All right, so we'll just stop his camera. He doesn't have to leave. All right, there we go. All right.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Sankofa Pan-African series.
Black History Month.
Let's now take a look at two other great African kingdoms and empires, starting with Egypt's neighbors, Nubia. Now, Egypt's closest neighbors were Nubians. The origin of the name Nubia is now obscure. Some have linked it to Nub, spelled NWB, an ancient Egyptian word for gold. The area known as Nubia in ancient times covered most parts of northeastern Africa. It extended from the Nile River Valley and went eastwards to the shores of the Red Sea. The southern part of Nubia covered present-day Khartoum in the Sudan, and the western part of it is the area which now covers the Libyan desert. The Nubians developed powerful kingdoms. One was Kush, which had its first capital at Kerma and later at Napata. Meroe was another Nubian kingdom. I will come back to it, to Meroe later. Now, the Encyclopedia Britannica suggests that Nubia was divided into two regions. The southern portion, which extended north to the southern end of the Nile River, was known as Upper Nubia. This was where Kush was established under the pharaohs of the 18th dynasty in Egypt. Kush was called Ethiopia by the ancient Greeks. Lower Nubia was the northern part of the region and was located near Aswan. The vast area which constituted Nubia is believed to have become populated by African people from the Sahara region. They began to move towards the Nile around 5000 BC, as I said in an earlier episode. According to archaeologists, Nubia emerged as a farming region around 3500 BC. And there is evidence to suggest that there were interactions between Egypt and Nubia and other Nilotic regions in the south from very early in human history. One interesting fact about Nubia is that in spite of all the debates about the race of the people responsible for the Egyptian civilization, Nubia has always been perceived as a land of black people. Even after Egypt became mixed as a result of various migrations, Egyptians clearly depicted Nubians as people with darker skin, while the Greeks and Romans called them Ethiopians in reference to their skin color. Egyptian sources sometimes referred to Nubia as Ta Seti, or the land of the bow, because Nubians were famous for their skill as archers. Nubia was the gateway through which a lot of products like incense, ivory, and ebony traveled from their sources in sub-Saharan Africa to Egypt and onto the Mediterranean. Nubia also traded extensively by selling ivory to Byzantium and copper and gold to Ethiopia, another of Egypt's neighbors. Nubian merchant caravans traveled deep into the heart of Africa, as far as areas which fall within present-day Nigeria and Ghana. Nubia was the major link between the Great Lakes and the Congo Basin of Central Africa, as well as the Mediterranean. According to S. Adam and O. J. Vercout, the position of the Nile Valley in relation to the Red Sea, the Saharan Desert, and the Arabian Desert facilitated direct contact with the rest of Africa. Please, once again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not yet done so. Like it and feel free to share with your friends.
Exactly.
See you next time.
Like, share. Black History Month. Black History Month. Like, share.
If you like our series on Africa's ancient history with Dr. Bumi Oisan, watch more of our educative African content on the Sankofa Pan-African Series YouTube page, linked in the descriptions below. And please feel free to leave your suggestions, news tips, or topics about Africa you'd like us to cover.
Well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together. And this is a big deal for us just to be able to get some peace and have a chance for a reset. And the character of the country matters. And being a good man matters. You know, I just want my sons to look at this. Look at this.
I would have redirected
him. It's easy to do it the cheap way and
get
away with stuff, but it comes back around. It comes back around. And this is a good day for this country. I'm sorry for the people who lost.
Well, Van, I'm just not believing that.
Day. But for a whole lot of people, it's a good day.
I'm just not believing that you'd be crying that much and you'd be scared to talk to your own kids. Yeah.
Attention, everyone. Introducing Sayrica Africa's all-new cell phone touchscreen crossbag. This bag enables you to be able to talk, text, and email without coming fully in contact with the screen, making it coronavirus safe. This bag makes your phone easily accessible, being around your neck, which means no more misplacing your phone. This crossbag also protects your phone from any fall damage, so no more money spent to fix screens. The bag is also waterproof too, which means no more water damage.
No more.
This bag also has compartments to store items such as cards and IDs. These are easily accessible as well as the phone. So buy now at sayricaafrica.com.
It's on you, Self Love. It's all on you, bro. I'll give them some. In the meantime, music. Is anybody here but me? Have I been disconnected? Uh-oh. What's going on? Self Love, can you stop share? Is your mic on? Did we lose Self Love? We may have lost Self Love. So I'll do this. I'll go through this. So welcome back to the second half of the show. Let me get the second half of the show music going. We're live, people. We're out rehearsing. How many of y'all came home from school? Y'all remember 20 below zero. Good pair of boots your parents bought you. You decided to, you decided to not wear them and wear your sneakers so you can be cool. So you get home and you're freezing. Throwing out. Flick on the TV. Boy, good times, man. Good times. Those are the things that took some of the sting out of the drama and the trauma. And that's why we honor this man who gave us a lot of entertainment and everything. So I'm gonna, bring it back in the building, and I will bring you cats up to speed. Anybody who may have just joined us, we are here with Ernest Thomas, and he's from What's Happening and What's Happening Now. Everybody Hates Chris. There will be Mr. Omar. Mr. Omar was getting it in too, man. You know how everybody died, and I was wondering, like, is this guy a serial killer?
I know.
Yeah.
Omar or something else. Yeah.
Man. And then we got Sydney. Bro, you wore that suit in Malcolm X. You wore it like a true loop. Yeah. That was man, it was a nice looking suit, and you did a great job. So, this is who we're with, and his song or scripture is the 23rd Psalms. It's the Lord is my shepherd. I saw where you indicated that your lovely mom, your earth, your portal into this dimension, that she's not a big hugger or a kisser, show of affection in that sense.
Yeah, and you and that, because she see you, man, she give you so much love from here, from her heart.
Yeah.
But since I was a kid, my mother has never, people because they think, oh, she's so sweet. I say, yeah, but she has never, ever embraced me. But she'll if I was going out of town, okay, now you take Jesus with you.
Right.
You call me when you get there.
Right.
So one friend said, hey, just try to hug her. And I do, and she just kind of, it's just her, but she'll take a bullet for you,
Of course.
It's the strangest thing, yeah. Never ever.
And a lot of us in the South, they were raising us to be tough.
You know what? That's it, brother.
The boys weren't doing a lot of hugging and kissing and
yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. Being single mother too, she made sure that she wouldn't allow. I was like, oh, mom, I just love you. Okay, boy, get away from me now.
Yeah.
Get away from me,
Yeah.
She wouldn't allow me,
Well, all the important stuff she did, and
all the important, absolutely. She prayed for me. She was always, she's always telling me, I'm praying for you, baby. And she, like you said, she looking out for you. She could read people like that. So yeah, man.
Absolutely. And our co-host,
I wish you watched Malcolm X though. I mean, I wish you would at least watch Malcolm X one time all the way through.
Well, it's amazing to me that you were like Broadway, like off Broadway. I mean, that's made it. Like you're doing leads in Broadway, and your family's like, when you gonna be on TV? And that's just so our community,
Right. They don't understand nothing about that at all.
Mom, I just won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
Yeah, when you getting that new Cadillac, baby? Buy your mama a house.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That is the truth, man.
Man. So yeah, our my co-host, he's having a technical issue.
Okay.
We hope he can get back. So we'll keep this going. I wanted to ask you, what is your take on Black Lives Matter?
Okay. I just heard recently they got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. I love what it started, this global this global protest of people from all over Italy and France, because we know everywhere that you have dark skin, you're catching hell. Let's be real. Okay. The only thing I have issue with the Black Lives Matter, and I put this up, I've actually put that on Facebook. I say I love you and all that, but I would say, where is your black ass when these mothers are losing their kids to the gang violence? I don't, when they have this carnage in Chicago and Little Rock, Arkansas, and South Central, and Cleveland, you can name them. I have been there. I have held mothers in Washington, D.C., who 15-year-old daughters got killed from the gangbangers because they didn't give them the phone number. She said, I'm underage. He don't care, right? He'll knock on the door. Lady said the guy knocked on her door and told the boy, "Are you gonna join?" He said, "No, shoot the boy right there." Like, what the parents are gonna do? You gonna snitch on? We'll come back and kill all of you. So that my issue with Black Lives Matter. I say again, take your black asses there and hug these young mothers, all right, who are losing their kids every damn day, every damn week. Okay. And yeah, I have anger about that. As much as I love President Obama, the one issue I had about him, you are from Chicago. What it would mean to those kids if you would come in that limousine, the president, and said, look, y'all, I love you. I don't like what's going on. That's all. So for me, yeah, the Black Lives Matter, yeah, I love them. Like with it, like I have issues with my mother. I have issues with, we got to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So yes, I love them, what they're doing toward the police brutality and all that. But I got issues that I gotta watch out for the racist white cop who might be a member of the KKK. A lot of them are. There's a lot of good cops, so let's face it.
Yeah,
the
they
KKK,
are.
they said they were going to do that. They were going to take away the hoods and join the being the government and all that. So they were true to that. Now I got to deal with the gangbangers. I can't wear a certain color or be out at a certain time of night because they don't care about no black power.
Right.
Okay. They don't care. They're just about that green. They got their certain territory. They're dealing drugs and making that bank, making that green, and they will kill me. Okay.
Over nothing.
You don't address that. So I got to deal with the racist cops. Then I got to deal with this young brother that look at me as an opportunity to murder me and rob me.
Facts. Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you on that, as far as, BLM, in the essence, and, their movement to, stamp out, I guess, police brutality, bravo. And then on the flip side of that, though, I've had a brother come on here. I haven't researched it, but he said that they're headquartered in DC, right between the DNC and Amazon or something like that, George Soros. So it feels a little weird when you start, and then all that money's pouring in, and what are they doing with all that money?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? But seriously, what are they doing with all the money?
Wow.
I mean, it's just
Korean group gave them a big donation too. That pop group.
Money was pouring in, especially after George Floyd. Money poured in, and and I'm just wondering. I'm not saying they're stealing it. I'm
right. But where?
How much does it cost to hold a flag and rally people around organically?
That's the truth. That's the truth. Yes.
So it goes back to what you're saying. Then when the mom's crying, maybe you can use some of that money and be there feeding people and feeding them. Right. Wouldn't that be humanitarian? And then you get the Nobel Prize, and then people could say, great.
Yes. Now you really, be there feeding you just said it, man. My Lord. Yeah. That's it.
Well, I want to shift gears somewhat. What measures do you think our community, the urban community, should do to close the economic gap between us and our white or pink counterparts?
Well, again, that I have a living example of that. A pastor in Livingston, Alabama.
Okay.
He has like a 3rd grade education, about 3 feet tall. And anyway, someone told me about it. I went there to try to get money for a movie and all that. And anyway, he was telling me that he had all these people on welfare. So he said, "Look, give me your welfare checks. You know, and we're gonna take all these checks. We're gonna bank this money. We're gonna buy land. We're gonna buy livestock." Man, they did that, and pretty soon, and then they were not supposed to buy anything except among the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
$200 million. So now the whites in town were calling him a cult, but it's not that. He did like the Mormons did. So I would say to close that, what we need to do is, I know you got the drugs and all that. That's another, you gotta root that out. But the leaders are not addressing that. Because still, if you just started segments of that happening within the Black community, it would take us to another level, or because you got the Black banks and all that too. But if you buy from the Black merchants and you circulate that money among, it's a no-brainer. They've done it. They've shown you. The Jewish people have shown you. The Italians have shown you. The Mormons have shown you. Right, that you put that dollar together and keep it among that community, because everybody else is gonna be fine, But you suffering because, and it's so simple to do, it's so simple to do. But I don't know why the leaders don't really hammer that home,
Well, I was postulating. I did a thought experiment on our show yesterday. You take a town like Gary, Indiana, or Riverdale in Illinois, and they just extended the L train out there, so that's huge, right? But you take a town like that, Harvey, these places, some of these areas have gotten run down, Flint, Michigan, where you can buy a property for $5,000. You get 1,000 Black men, right? And the emphasis is on Black men. And if they have families, fine. If they don't, whatever. But you get 1,000 Black men who have the capital, no bank loans, to buy the property outright and fix it up, right? So now property values are going up, and then now you're voting for mayors. You're taking over the whole town, the whole structure, and everyone. So the Green Bay Packers, for instance, that is owned by the city. So you know how they cheer for that team because they're all in bed and the money goes back to the city. So now it's a co-op. I'm not talking communism. I'm saying a co-op. So there's a bank or credit union that's in this town. It's Black owned, and it's owned by those 1,000 men and other men who want to move into the community. We're going to get you shares in these major places, the grocery stores, these major places, so that you will now be an idiot. I don't even have to talk to you at the barbershop and say, why are you going across town to spend money on it? Because it's cheaper and I'm Black and I'm ignorant. I don't even have to have those conversations because, right, you're taking money out of your own kids. Go to the store in the neighborhood. Right.
Absolutely.
We can do that.
I love that, man.
We can do that.
I love it. Yes.
Now we're not brain wrestling with police unions and the union said there's no more of that. We have our own mayors. We rebuild Black Wall Street and and that's it.
Rebuild Black Wall Street, brother. I got a chill, brother, right there. I'm getting I'm bathing in chills right now. But that is so true.
Yeah, but us, and I'm saying us, we tend to do is, I don't want to live in Gary. Gary wasn't, there's white flight, and then now there's a phenomenon called Black flight. Yeah. And so, like Self Luv's neighborhood, he's in a beautiful community right next to the Lake Michigan, and so what makes a community is the people and the culture and the food. It's how we act,
That's right.
Right. So, that's what I would tell our people, stop saying we want to live in Beverly Hills and let's build our own Beverly Hills.
Yes. No, I thought about that the other day because it was brother Keith Henderson. He's a pastor. He's from Gary, Indiana, and he was on with Bishop Jakes. And I was thinking about that. I said, you know what? It's something needs to be done with Gary, but Lord, what, Lord? You know, we need a strategy, Lord. We need like a divine strategy. But what you're saying, I like that. You know, I like that idea. You know, I mean, I know we got that drug element that we'd have to deal with, but not
Well,
to just say, you know what, leave it to them. It's a hopeless cause. It ain't
well,
a
they're going to be owners as well. They're going to be owners as well. See, one thing in every
Everybody
society,
gonna
you're
have
going
skin
to,
in the game.
yes, in every society, you're going to have that element. Everywhere, you're going to have it. You're going to have it. You can't pray it away. You can't, this is biblical. It's going to be the poor will always. But here's the thing. Yes, but there's a balance. Say like 20% of people who may not have the education or who may not have the money, we'll cap it at that in Gary, and those are the renters. But everybody else is ownership. Even your home is in that co-op, so that yes, so that everybody's maintaining it. And then now, why are you spray painting on our house? That's our house, right? It's not mind your business. That ain't your house. No, that's our house. Right. Right.
I love it. I love it, brother. I love it.
And we can make it happen. But share a personal situation where you felt the impact of racism, or maybe you got pulled over by the police, and then how you handled it as a Black man.
Okay. Yeah, I have several of those. Yeah, well, we did the show What's Happening Now in Glendale, California. And I didn't know that Glendale had a reputation. This was my white landlord telling us that one time Blacks had to leave town, before 6 o'clock. They couldn't be in town after 6 o'clock.
I worked there. The police were awful.
Yeah, I had never heard. She said, no, she's even her husband, who's Armenian, he was tan, so they would stop him, like question him.
Yeah.
So when we did the show there, one time it was raining, and I was with Ron Muhammad. He's Ice Cube's cousin. You see his name in all those movies, and he also had little minor parts in it. Ron Muhammad, he used to be my protege. And so we're coming from the set, and it's raining, man. 4 cop cars, all these white cops coming, guns out, man. We got groceries in our hands, and I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Seriously, we got groceries in our hand, and y'all got 4 of you got guns pointed at us, and the one guy said, oh yeah, okay, then the others put the gun, but I'm just saying, we have our hands are full. Ain't nothing but gross. Ain't no gun, ain't no knife, ain't no pencil. And you got 4 guns set. And God help us if we had reached for something like, here's our ID or whatever, right?
Right.
So I remember that day. Also in Glendale, what really pissed me off, I parked at a manager spot at one of the buildings. So she called the cops, right? And it was an Asian guy. And he actually said to me, are you stupid? I went, you know what? Time out. Oh no, man. You don't get to call me stupid.
No.
Now I parked in the spot. I had to go and see my mother, or we made a mistake. I said, I'm sorry, but to call me stupid, you over the top. That's too much. And I looked at him, and I'm not that person who tries to confront like that, but I was afraid of myself that day. Because I don't think if he had not backed down, I don't know what, I don't think I know I wouldn't have stopped, because I want you to take it back, and which he did. Don't call me stupid. That was unnecessary. And you being a minority too. Well, so you think you got that privilege now to talk to me like that? Oh man. Whoa.
Well, that's
heated.
That's why that people of color, all of that people of color stuff. You mentioned Barack Obama, and I just wanted, for the sake of the nation, I'm surprised the chat. Barack is not from Chicago. Now I know you feel good about Michelle Obama, right? Michelle Obama is from Chicago.
Yes.
And you know how she gives you that? She gives you that, and we built this, right?
Right.
And my people, and Barack don't give you none of that, because Barack is from Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And then he met Michelle like in college, and then so she was from there, and so he was already a grown man when he came to Chicago, and then they put him on. And they put him on, and he won an election, and the people in Chicago put him on like that,
right.
And that's why you don't get, how Michelle give you that
Yeah, she does. She
And
sure
I don't know
does.
why we sitting here and listening to this. You know what I mean? And Barack, yeah. So I just wanted to clear that up for the nation.
Okay. All right.
He claimed Chicago, but
okay, Hawaii.
It's big. Now you know the difference.
I know the
now
difference.
You know the difference.
Oh yeah.
So Hawaii, Ivy League, and then Chicago. That's it's going to be a lot different than Self Love's experience.
Oh yeah.
Right. Or even Michelle's experience.
Yeah, because she grew up right.
Now, Self Love is from Chicago. Are you from?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Both of us are.
Both. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, both. Okay.
Yeah, I could throw a brick and hit Michelle Obama's house, her mother's house from where I live right now. We grew up right here, right by each other.
I think J Hud was over there somewhere too, right? Not too far. Jennifer Hudson.
She wasn't over here. Right? She not over here. She was on 71st, 72nd off near Vincennes. But she was
okay.
She was at Kennedy King with me. I did a lot of sound for her at Kennedy King.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's great, man.
So you already covered with us where the spark to pursue acting came from. The gentleman you said that told you were an actor.
Yes.
Was there any other like spiritual moment as a child or anything where you said, yeah, I want to do that, or you're watching TV or something?
Yeah, I can say I never wanted to be an actor, but I saw healing. I saw divine healing. So I tell people, and I have friends who are atheists who are good people, but they know we ain't gonna get into a discussion about that because I know I experienced God for myself. And we didn't try to get the cameras there and CVS and all that. You just, as a child, you saw people coming bent over, sick as a dog and divine healing. And I saw that, and they're speaking in tongues. So it was for us, So seeing that, my faith was like supernatural as a kid. My mother said I didn't want to go to a doctor if I had the flu, pneumonia. Then, oh boy, you going to the doctor. You going to the doctor up in here. I know Jesus got the doctor got you too, But yeah, just spiritually, just seeing those divine healings, and having that feeling that God was with me, just knowing the presence of God, and that really emboldened me, man, to like I can do anything. And I knew that's why I could leave my mother and go to New York, to a foreign city, not knowing, starting all over again. Then they had the audacity to go to LA with nowhere to stay. I'm gonna take a red eye, because I'm walking on what Jesus said, John 14:14, ask anything in my name. So I'm like, oh, it's done. Now, I don't know where it's done, but it'll be revealed. But I did. That's why people thought I was crazy. And I can understand that. I took a red eye. I told my agent, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to fire you. In my mind, I'm saying, I'm firing you as soon as I get the show, which I did. And so when I got, again, I had to like say with a friend here, somebody knew somebody over here. And being rejected by 9 agents, but God is letting me know, I got you. There were times I didn't hear, like, God, are you there? Man, I've been rejected 9 times. I'm crying like, man, how much more can my heart take? I'm in this dingy hotel, between Hollywood and Sunset, the Gilbert Hotel. I can feel the springs in the mattress. Everybody thinks I've lost my mind, God. And I cried myself to sleep. I said, I cried a river of tears, but God didn't say go home. So I know that God is real, because everything, what I asked for is beyond what I even asked for. I never knew all this was going to happen, I would have been fine with just having the little show and that, but God took it to a whole nother level, with people like a Muhammad Ali, a Burt Reynolds, would like say, hey man, hey, here's my phone number, just giving out there. And then you go to the Army base.
Burt Reynolds, Dick Reed is somewhere loving this. You met Burt Reynolds, man. We got a friend who loves Burt Reynolds, man.
Really?
He's got a man crush on, but yeah, we got a friend who's a man crush on.
Okay.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt. Man,
Cool
love
guy.
that guy, man. I
Yeah,
wish
that's what he was saying. He's like, man, Burt Reynolds
he
is
would
cool.
have come on this interview. He would have come on this
Really?
interview with me. He sure would have.
Wow.
He sure would have. Yeah.
Man, that would have got Dick Reed. He would have went crazy. Big ups. I mean, big ups to Burt Reynolds. Well, Self. He was talking about Kojic, Church of God in Christ, right?
Yes.
And so, that's my foundation, my spiritual foundation. We got off into, Johnny Coleman after that. But Ernest, you said you got there, I guess, at around 12, and that's around the time when I left Kojic. And but about the healings, I've witnessed that. My family's deep into it, and ministry and everything, reverence. I've witnessed people praying and speaking in tongues over somebody who, and they come out and they feel better and they get healed. I've seriously. And so I would walk around the world and the city of Chicago Self, and I would tell people what church I go to, and they'd be like, oh, you go to that cult, y'all sanctified.
That's
Black
right.
people look at you funny. But at the foundation of Kojic was metaphysical. There was something metaphysical about it.
It
And
was.
yes, and I don't think people got it. And Ernest got it.
Yes. Absolutely. Brother. Yeah.
and
Denzel, is a member, Denzel as well. Robert, Magic Johnson, Stevie
I didn't
Wonder.
know. Yeah, I know Denzel goes to the church here, but I didn't know he grew up like that.
Oh yeah, his father, yeah,
Really?
was actually a Kojic minister,
Wow.
but they divorced. The mother, father, yeah. So but then his wife joined West Angeles.
Yes,
and
West
that's how he
Angeles.
got, and that's when his wealth came. He was broke. He wasn't wealthy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder. Stevie Wonder's been there for almost 40 years.
Wow.
All them, Stevie Wonder, Magic Johnson, of course Denzel, but some others I can't think of the name, but their wealth grew right under that banner because Bishop Blake, he's a real deal, man. Of
Well,
course,
my
but
grandmother
it's his,
was personal friends with him. Man, when me and Taja moved here and she was still alive, rest her soul, she was telling me, yeah, go see Bishop Blake. You know what I mean? So
brother,
yeah.
that man.
Yeah.
To tell you, I
I'm sure
joined
I've met him.
2 years
I'm
ago.
sure.
And a miracle. He's an earnest. When I joined, he's an earnest. Expect a miracle, brother. This never happened before. I got this film right, and they went, "Oh, well, we're gonna give you like, $4,000 for a few days or whatever like that." And I went, "Okay," and then I didn't hear nothing from them, so I called the agent and said, "Oh, I guess they changed their mind." He said, "No, man, I gotta tell you, they called me and said we insulted Ernest. We look at this. He should get double that." So we're gonna give him. I have never. You always have to negotiate for more, right?
Penny for penny.
That's the only time in my entire life being in show business where the producers doubled the money on their own, and that's right after I joined. So I said, "Bishop, you told me to expect a miracle."
Well, I hope you did your tithe, because you got to be.
I did. I sure did.
You better pay you.
Every time. Oh yeah, brother. I told Mom, because Mom wants to win the lotto. I said, now, Mom, we win this lotto. Okay, how much? If it was 400 million, we give 40 million to the church. Now, 10%. She said, well, now that's. I said, Mom, ain't no ifs. We got to give the whole 10%. But yeah, brother, that's supernatural faith. Again, I just go back to that. When I go in church, I'm lost, man. I'm crying. I know people trying to get autographs. I said, look, baby. When we get done, baby, I got you. But right now, the only celebrity here,
man, is
Jesus Christ, baby. I'm sorry, man. I can't. And then I tell people, I'm gonna be real with you now. I'm gonna give you the autograph, but I can't go out with you because I don't know you. I know devils coming to church. So I'm not gonna assume. I don't care how long you've been here. Please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not gonna hang with you unless God tells me that.
Especially at a mega church, all types are in there.
Thank you.
It's not like it's a smaller church where you know everybody.
And I'm just saying, people look at you funny. I know some brothers, they got their little cliques. I don't care. I'm just saying, I'm not here. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I know we doing this in church. When I leave here, unless God tells me we need to connect, that ain't happening.
Well, Ernest, I've revealed on this show, I've had, that Holy Ghost per se. I've never personally like felt that, but I would be in church growing up. And, you know, as a kid, man, you see people like your mom and your grandma, they start jumping up and crying
Yeah.
and getting pulled out and going in the ambulance and stuff, right? And I got two brothers, and we would be literally laughing like all while we grew up, and we were the pastor's grandkids, so we got away with a lot of horseplay and
Oh
shucking and
yeah.
jiving,
PK.
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, the grandkids, but yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and so long story short, one day we're sitting there and my oldest brother caught the Holy Ghost.
Oh my God.
And we thought he was faking, me and my other brother, you know, we thought he
Yeah.
was playing. Yeah, and the tears and
Oh, I was like,
yeah. And
man.
so I'm like, well, because he was the oldest, he was the ringleader, Rod. So it's like you're my oldest brother, and you're like, look at these people.
Right.
You know, as you grow up, look at all of them, they're
Yeah.
all faking. Yes.
Right.
And it struck him. Now,
Lord, man, I wish I could have seen that.
now I've felt the hand of God on numerous
Yeah.
occasions. That's
Yeah.
literally, I've literally felt the hand of God, but
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you know, that I just haven't had that per se yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Now I never did the speaking in tongues. I know
yes,
people
that's what
do.
I'm
I haven't
talking
done
about.
that.
Yeah.
I just have it where I'm crying because I feel the presence of God,
Oh my
and
God,
I'm
it
thinking
fills you.
about all the
Yes.
stuff He brought me through. And brothers say, "Oh yeah, man, one day you speak in tongues." I said, "Well, you know, I just know it's real. I don't, you know, I'm glad you do that, but I don't think that's. I know what's real for me, you know. And
Yeah,
when I'm crying, I'm not worried about. I hope you know, if God wants that to happen. And I've
man.
heard some mega preachers on YouTube said they never spoke in tongues, you know. And
Right.
Paul talks about that. There should be an interpreter, you know. Prophesying is better because people think you're crazy if someone that was not a member comes to see us off. You think, what's going on with them there? So I know they talk about that heavy and cozy, speaking in tongues. I said that happens, but no, I don't think you better than me because you do it. You know, every other minute, you know, you doing it and you shouting and all that. I'm doing it from my heart. I know, don't nobody know like Ernest Thomas knows what he done for me, as they say, right? Don't nobody know what he done for me. I've been out there on the drugs, all that sort of, but I played hooky from God, you know, with the freebase and hang with the drug deals. Oh, I
Man.
could have been killed, put in jail any moment, brother. I said, y'all have no idea, you know, how stupid I was, you know.
But
And God still
he
loved
had you, the whole time. You know, with your
me, brother.
mom's prayers and your grandmom's and, you know, and your
The
faith.
whole time, brother. The
Yeah.
whole,
You know, because you had that discernment the whole time.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
like you're sitting somewhere, you might be getting high, and you're like, yeah, I better go. And you go.
Yes.
And
That's
then
right.
something happens, the police raid the
Yeah.
place, or yeah,
You're
you're like,
so
oh,
right.
like,
You're
this
so
and that.
right. You know, you feel it, and they're like, where you going, man? I just gotta
Yeah.
go. It's just
Yeah.
arbitrary. Yeah, I gotta go. So true.
Yep.
So true, brother.
Yep.
Yes.
And Tori, he told me, he's like, man, when you hear that voice, you know, you always want to pay attention to that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes,
He
Lord.
told me that when we were
Yes.
17, because I tend to ignore it sometimes, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've done that too, and it cost me.
Yeah.
It will cost you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it'll
brother.
cost you. So yeah, well, want to shift gears, and that was a great you know, conversation getting into Kojic, and that's the Church of God in Christ for anybody who doesn't know. The biggest mistakes that you see from actors, or well, I should say aspiring actors,
Yeah. The big, what do I see?
that you
You
may
know
see
what?
from aspiring
Yeah,
actors.
it is that they speak the negative. You know, they want it overnight. You know, and this is for me dealing with in the last 40 years, advising, you know, having been a manager, and I wasn't trying to be a manager, but it was forced upon me with these young people kept saying, manage me. And the thing is, their belief when Jesus said, "Oh, ye of little faith," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, don't you get it?
Mm-hmm.
You can have the faith the size of a mustard seed. Don't think you're gonna have it all together. You're gonna have this super faith all the time. You cannot open your mouth and speak the negative. Right? I said the whole time I came here in 75, and I got a top 10 show within a year, but no one ever got me to say it ain't gonna happen. I don't care how negative they were. I could have cried all night long, baby, and I did. When I took a shower, put that suit on, and people are like, look at that fool. hey man, you still gonna have a show? I said, sure will. Yeah, God told me. And they laughing, they cracking up laughing, and I keep moving, you know. And anyone that came up to me, yeah, brother. So what you here for? I said, I'm trying to get. Yeah, but you know it's hard. I said, you know, I got to stop you right there. Okay,
Man.
Jesus says, ask anything in my name, and I quit. I said, so God bless you, and move on. I ain't got no time. Get.
And you know that story of Noah's Ark? Noah stayed busy doing that. So as they were talking and jeering at him, Noah was steady crafting that ark.
That's right.
So
Yes.
as people are jeering, instead of listening to that, and then go ahead, Self. Instead of listening to that, just craft your skill. Go ahead, Self Love.
People will speak spells in your life if you let them.
Yes.
They will speak spells in your life. They will try to have you spellbound from their words, from their fear, their fear.
Yes.
You know, and fear is a low vibration, and we say it's an illusion here.
Yes.
With the Self Love Show. And man.
And you had actually tell me, oh, I've been here 20, man, how are you? That ain't right, man, for you to think. They actually said, it ain't right for me to actually think that I could come there that quick, right? Because they've been there 20 years. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
As a man thinketh in his heart.
So is he. Yeah. And anything a mind can conceive, you know, it could achieve. And that's proved in quantum science. You know, if you go to observe it, you know, I asked somebody, we were talking and we were talking about the sun, and you know the sun provides light, which is food energy for plants. They call that photosynthesis, and that's the plant's melanin. And then you know you have secondary eaters, and those are the herbivores, you know, like your deer, for instance. They're going to eat the plants, so they're getting that energy secondhand. And then you have your like a wolf, they'll come around and eat the deer, and they're getting the information third hand. So my question is, and this is something to postulate, and I haven't meditated on it yet, what does the sun get?
Wow, that's good.
And the sun has to be getting something.
Yes.
Right.
Reciprocal situation.
Wow. That's a heavy question.
That's the question.
You know, as much lip as I got, you got me there. You shut me up right there.
Any myths?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Any myths about Hollywood or about the industry that you like to clear up, or any myths about your career, anything that you like to clear up?
Yeah, they are. You know, I've had, you know, and I think people know, well, they might, you know, because I was Muslim, and I still love the people, you know, Muslim people, and I was happy that I was there, but I was on drugs, and a Muslim brother came out with my cousin, and I needed somebody to throw me a lifesaver. The Christians were too busy getting high to invite me to church. So I was Muslim for a while, and I got really hated on. I got hated on by the Jewish producers as well as the black cast members, Haywood, Danielle, all of them. They said, you got a bean pie. So I caught hell. I never spoke ill of nobody. I never attacked them, you know, or raised my voice. I just got quiet about it. And even when I did Everybody Hates Chris, one of the Jewish guys there, Jerry Levine, he said, Ernie, I told this guy he's a liar. He told me that you have this Muslim mafia. Now here I'm back in church, right? I'm at West Angeles. But here's some Jewish guy going around raising money, saying that I am this mafia, this Muslim mafia figure. And anytime anyone does anything about Hollywood, does anything about Muslims in a movie, they got to consult me because I got all this power. I mean, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
So like they were saying you were like Rizza Islam, like one of the Fruit of Islam type guys.
Yes. I'm like, so, I mean, he told the guy, he said, oh, because you was at this event where they honored, I said, they also honored the producer of Malcolm X, who is Jewish, by the way, you know? And the main guy is a Jewish guy.
What was his response to that? Yeah, what was his response to that?
Well, he said, I knew. He said, he just told the guy that's not true, but he didn't know about that. He said, oh, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, the guy, if you look at the producer of the show, then Marvin, I can't his last name, he also directed Dustin Hoffman in a film by Lenny Bruce. That was another film he did, but he's a Jewish guy. He loved this whole Malcolm X story. That's how it came about. They honored him too, but no one mentioned that, right? And then you have the Muslims, because I am there with the Jewish people. You know, I did one episode where I had the dress on, right? Oh, God forbid. I had the dress. Raj was running from the FBI. It was what's happening now. Lord have mercy. I thought I had committed, like hurt somebody, did I rape somebody? They had this intervention, you know, and brother, don't let these Jews, don't let these Jews turn you into a woman and get you, you know,
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? What are you talking? What? You know? And yeah, so I heard you went to the synagogue. Yeah, hey, don't they trying to make? Yeah, so I visit. Yeah, I visited the Asian synagogue. I went to it was a thing for Israel. I went there because I was letting them know that I love all people.
Right.
But so I caught hell. You know, I said, hey y'all, I believe God is love. You know. And y'all are tripping. So it's like you got the Jews talking about, oh, he's got this Muslim, and the mafia. Then you got the Muslims thinking you love Jews too much, right? Then you got Christians, because you come back to the church. Well, he ain't really a Christian. I think he's faking. They doing like Trump said Obama, he's still a Muslim. So you got those, and they're brothers who would not even speak. There's some Christians who whisper, and people told me they talking about me. And then one of my closest Muslim brothers, who's a doctor, stopped speaking to me.
Wow.
You know, his mother's a Christian, because I went back to church. And my mother told me, he said, when he finds out, I said, oh no, that's my brother. He stopped speaking to me, 5 years. Then it was another, it's like, I said, you know what, God, I realized I got to stop trying to, I'll never please everybody. You're going to think whatever you got to think, you know? And then I remember when at my house, I had everybody there. And there was a singer there, I won't mention the name, very famous singer who was bisexual, and she was hitting on everybody. And so my friends from Gary went back and told everybody that I was gay. I had this, I was turning out men and the women. I was just turning them out up in Malibu. And it hurt me that they took that back, because they saw my brother is gay, so he had a lot of gay kids over there.
Right.
But when the singer came over and hit on both of them, the woman and the husband, they went back, and then the brother of that told me, the brother said, yeah, this way. And I was wondering why are people looking? I remember going to a funeral, and a girl said, oh, isn't that Raj? They said, yeah, girl, he's a big old fag, like that. And those things. Then I went to the brother, I stopped speaking to him, then he apologized. And the thing is, I was molested. I was molested with 2 pedophiles. My mother will tell you that. My uncle beat up one. I didn't tell him about the other one,
Wow.
Why they like, pedophiles love little boys and little girls, okay?
Yeah.
Wasn't no gay person, all right?
Yeah.
So those thoughts are in you, but whether you carry that out, that's all. That's like Donnie McClurkin say. But I'm not like gonna be, I'm just gonna be all one way.
Right.
You got a man, a grown ass man with women who love a JJ, but for some reason, he's doing you.
Right.
Okay. So I mean, all that. So imagine growing up with that. In addition to the bullying, you can't even talk about that. You can't even talk about that. And when my uncle beat up that guy who's still alive in Gary, they didn't tell his wife because they didn't want to destroy their family. So they just beat him up by himself. They didn't tell the wife and the neighborhood and all that, right?
Man,
so
yeah.
I'm just saying, all that, it's life. And we got to get out of this narrow-minded. Everything's not just black and white. But for me trying to come on to somebody and me trying to have an orgy, man, I can barely look at somebody, and I was so shy. I still have that, but I've learned because of acting, I'm more,
you can be more extroverted. It's
right. But but they actually put that out there. And once they put that lie out, like they said in that film Doubt, it's like opening up a pillow and letting the feathers fall out from the top floor. You will never gather those feathers, and people are gonna think what they think from then on.
True.
There's nothing I can do about that either. It's just
well, Noop, anybody with a mouth can say anything. And then, you know, another recent revelation I had was, Peter, when he's walking on water, he's literally walking on water. And then as soon as he, started looking around and took his eyes off God, he fell in.
Lord.
And then God saved him. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, I mean, we all get caught up, and Lord knows I do.
Yes.
You got to have this certain in your walk.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, brother.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the older I get, I really get that. Lord, if I just focus on you, and I'm just reading that today, like, I don't care what's going on, just say my name.
And you
Just
walking
say
on
my
water.
name, brother.
I remember the interview when you were saying that you came here, you were on your way here, and you told God, as long as, I want this, and I'm going to exalt your name. And he opened those doors. I mean, at the time you got here, there wasn't black men. There wasn't sitcoms with black people. That's what made, well, there was, but it wasn't where we were, where we were a family, where we were all in control, where it wasn't some, even though the father wasn't there, but it was, it was a holistic story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wanted to ask you, what was the dad's story on what's happening? Why was he not around?
Oh yeah. He definitely was I think a ladies' man. That was that.
Yeah, he did. He used to come around and he was clean.
Yeah.
I remember the mom used to be
He loved my mom, but he was a handsome dude. So
yeah, I do remember that.
He was a player, and I loved him, brother. I loved that brother, and he loved me. He loved me like a son, man. And he really got into it. It was a moment where I was crying because that first time they had that where the father comes, and I started crying, and the producer said, "Stop, cut, Ernie, what the hell's going on, babe? This is a comedy."
It got real.
They had no idea. I'm thinking I wish I had never seen my father, right? And I don't know, just like, wow, he just like this moment, I felt so good, even if it was just imaginary, right? And then he hugged me and I actually froze, and he kissed me on the jaw and I froze. He went, I won't do that anymore. I said, no, I never had that. I said, I never had a father.
The father and the father.
It feels weird to me, but
Yeah. But see that I'm sure that came through on. I'm gonna have to go back. Can I watch that scene? I can watch that, huh? That's
yeah. They cut it. Yeah. You can watch it again.
They cut it. Yeah, because they wanted a comedy.
That's why I was crying. Yeah. Because then I had to get it together. You probably you can definitely feel that love, because it was still there.
I wish they'd have left it out. It would have been so real.
I
wish they would
have. Oh my Lord, brother! You know what? I never thought about that.
Man,
I wish they had just kept that in there, and then we could still laugh later.
Still laugh. The next show, they could have just ended the show on that. Right. That would have been huge. For fathers, it might have motivated fathers to go find their kids.
My Lord, brother.
So I wanted to just talk to you about your conversations with my mother. Can you just kind of briefly go over that? Because we're at the end. But I just, wanted to give you time to go over that because I'm interested in it.
Yeah. My mother, because I was talking about my book and all that. My mom said, look, I got a story too, baby. I was raised in Mississippi, and child, we had this and that. So when she's telling me all this, I went, you know what? I gotta get mom's while she's alive. I need to record her. And she's telling me, ain't no doctors, baby. You think about that, right? And I visited that aunt, the aunt she stayed with, and you got these houses that are miles apart, right? And there's no doctor. They took whatever.
You on your own. It's you and God, and you.
Okay. I mean, think about it. They went through the winter and all that, but no one died. But they had the flu and all that stuff, the sickness and pneumonia, all that had to be going on.
Yeah.
But they no doctors. She said, "Oh, child, we don't know about no doctors." She, I didn't know about nothing. And then he was just saying how she was said to me too that a seldom visit makes 1,000 friends. Like, don't
Mm.
overdo it when you
Uh-huh.
have a friend. Just don't overdo it when you're visiting them. Make them miss you.
Yep. Don't wear
That's
out
one
your
thing.
welcome, and
Yes, yes,
keep
yeah,
your
and
mystique. Well,
see,
that's a noob quality there, but go ahead.
yes, yeah, and
Uh-huh.
don't let anyone treat you better than you treat yourself.
Facts.
That's beautiful.
Facts.
No one should be treating you so good where you can't measure up to you shortstop. You slacking. If someone's treating you better than you treating yourself, I went, oh, I never that shit. Yeah, but don't let. And so shit. When people doing something, make sure you do more than they do for you.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not in control anymore if you're not strong.
Yes. So true. That was she said. Exactly. You're not in control. You're not in control anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that sounds man, that sounds awesome. Also, your the Playhouse, can you kind of just give us an overview of that as well?
Yeah, it's about these couples. It's about a lot of secrets, but places we don't want to go, and it's couples. It's really it's really these relationships, and basically this a girl knows this great counselor, psychologist, and she said, hey, why don't we all, since we all having, issue, why don't we all kind of go to this, go to this retreat.
Like a retreat. Okay.
And brother,
that's
it's
a good
just like,
setup for a suspense thriller. That is a good.
Oh my God, brother, the things that come out.
What's the cast? Woo! Is it mainly black? Is it mixed cast?
Yeah. It has one. I think that it's one white guy who's a predominantly black cast and unknowns. Unknown.
I love
Vincent Ward. Vincent has been a few things. Well, Vincent from My Brother's Keeper too.
Yeah. That's Big Sugar. Big Sugar.
Right. And and with Mirror, they had Tom. Oh God, he was in so many films. But I can't think of his name right now. But he was in films with De Niro. He's been in films with with Tarantino. I can't think of his name, but he's been if you saw his face immediately, but he loved it enough to be in it, I just can't think of his name. Oh gosh, it was this senior moment, but yeah, but that and Two Wolves is great too, because I play a CIA role. I'm a rogue CIA agent, and you don't know why I am this villain. Because I turned it down. This guy is he thinks he's God and all that. And I said, oh no, I ain't trying to do that. He said, you ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win.
So you're playing a spook.
I love being the bad guy. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah.
So he's CIA, and you said he's gone rogue.
He's gone rogue, yeah.
So he's working for himself.
He's out there, yes. He's out there, brother. And I really think it's the best thing I've done. I really did, again, because I had to go places I'd never been. And I remember being in traffic and feeling that guy wanted to go off. Because, like Denzel on Training Day, it took him 2 weeks to exercise that guy, because you got to get the spirit. You really got, you're really in the spirit of that person. That's why I thought actors were crazy. And we couldn't be buried in synagogues, in the cemeteries, in the Christian cemetery or the Jewish cemetery. That's why the Actors Fund was started, because they thought we were devil possessed, demon possessed. How can you play these different roles, right?
Correct.
You're playing stuff and you being a killer. Now you're a husband. Now you're a minister. Now you're a child molester. So we were not. They love actors now, but back in the day when they first started, no, we were the rejects.
It was witchcraft. Well, they say the word Hollywood comes from the holly tree. So I guess they say that sorcerers and wizards use when they make their magic wands, they used to cut down a holly, make it.
I never.
Yeah, I mean, do your research. So then you get Hollywood, and you get maybe you weren't doing sorcery or wizardry.
Somebody might have been doing. I'm sure. I'm sure somebody. Oh yeah, I'm sure they were. I met the devil. Oh, the devil worshippers that come. Oh, they come. The devil worship. Hey, brother, if you worship Satan, you think you success right now? Oh, I said, stop right there. I don't want to hear it. Don't. You know,
one thing about those Satanists, they try to kill you with kindness, don't they? They want to prove to you that because I'm a Satanist, my life is better. I'm nicer than you. I'm always better. And it's so disingenuous.
I can't believe, brother, that's how they were.
Yeah.
And they said it was my manager's girlfriend who was so sweet, because I just know this sweet girl tell me drink the you got herbal teas, you got to exercise, you got to do deep breathing. And then one night, you know, we doing the coke, and I guess she thought he's weak. He's open right now. And she puts a book next to me talking about Beelzebub. I said, oh, hell no. I don't know about basketball, but I know the devil when I see. Oh, hell no. You better get that thing out of here. Oh, I'm not lying. And she, no, but listen, but see, he's the real guy. You won't get an ounce of this coke. I won't give you a drop of this coke.
In fact, you talking like that, you can have all of it.
Take it with you on the way
make
out.
a phone call. Right. Man, this is some demonic stuff in here. But yeah, that's crazy. Now, we went over one scripture, but any family quotes or words of wisdom that, you know, you hang your hat on, you know, as you're moving through, you know, life?
Yeah, I definitely John 14:14, where Jesus asked anything in my name and I will do it. But also I love I believe it's Galatians 2. I think it's Galatians 2 and 4. I might get that one, but it's like I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. And the body that I live in now, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So that just, I'm like, okay. And I just memorized that one I said, I want to memorize. So I said, if you really want to get that faith, then you start memorizing this.
He sounds like my mom.
You know?
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, you're right. And those old school, they could quote some scripture.
Yes, that's the only one I really know. With that in the 23rd Psalm, but I need to learn more. I really want to learn just certain, you know. I know
I'm so bad. I've written poetry, and they be like, "Oh, that's in the Bible, baby." I'm plagiarizing the Bible. I know I heard that somewhere.
Because you've been in it so long, you don't even know, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. You got into Kojic, I guess, at 12, and that was about the time I left. So it's just interesting. You know, I went to my grandma and once I met my mom and my grandma, and once I turned 13, they were like, "Hey, you know, you can do you." Okay. But they figured I'd come back, and you know, I did come back to Christ, but just not necessarily to Kojic. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're gonna run through some quick hits, and these are bang questions, sir.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
Have you ever seen an alien?
No.
Have you ever seen anything supernatural?
Yes. I've seen an angel.
Would you like to explain? You don't have to.
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You saw that's good enough, because that's your revelation.
Yeah.
You saw an angel. All right. Did man walk on the moon during the Apollo mission?
Wow, man. I'm double-minded on that. Sometimes I think they did. Then I'm like,
what does your
it's
spirit
so good
tell
with these movies and special effects.
What does your spirit tell you? What does the spirit tell you? That's all we can go by.
Man, I just have doubt. I have doubts. I put it like that.
Well, Self Love and we're no's, just for what it's worth.
Yeah.
All right. This, I sound dumb asking this, but you know, we ask everybody this, and then eventually we'll be able to, you know, have the tips. So, is there a God?
Oh, absolutely, without question.
Recommend.
And I've talked to God. God has spoke to me, and again, I don't care who want to believe or not, because you know, even church folks, some want to hear. But yeah, not all the time, just one time. just one time in my 71 years, but I needed it at that time. Oh yeah.
Okay. Now I know you would recommend the Bible, and so if you're going to recommend the Bible, so we want you to recommend a book. So if you are going to say the Bible, and then add one more book, please.
Oh, definitely. I would say, oh man, I would definitely say the, oh God, it's three. Oh my Lord. I recommend this book all the time, but
Conversations with God.
no, it's like it's like, oh, Three Magic Words. Three Magic Words by
Write that
U.S.
down,
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Anderson with an E-N, but Three Magic Words.
I've heard of that.
Powerful book, yeah. And it was so powerful when I really read it, and I was on Broadway, and I started like taking it in and really seeing myself as a part of the divine architect. You got that. You can literally make people see you. All right. And that's why, if especially in Hollywood, because we are look at me business, I would do that, man. Even in the elevator, and you go in a meeting, guys say, oh, there's no solicitation. I'm not gonna do it. And they cuss me out. I just stand there. And so oh, okay, well, you're here, come on in, and and I actually got a role on Broadway, but knocking on the producer's door, let him cuss me out and just stand there.
and I'm sure you were prepared for that through your process at AZ.
Exactly. Oh, brother,
hazy. I didn't say it.
I said, y'all don't know. And and the brothers tell you, I'm not saying this. They would tell we were 17 Spartans. I was the hardest online. I didn't know that. They thought I'd be the weakest because I was saying Church of God in Christ. I'm Jesus, no drinking, no cussing, never did any of that. And they thought they were looking at, oh, he gonna be the weak. And then when it turned around, because I didn't know, I had no idea that I was that strong. I could take the pain. Like, ain't no man gonna make me bow.
Man.
Right?
Because you look at it like, well, if they did it, I did. I'm going. You know what I mean? They're standing here. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think from being bullied, it helped me. From being bullied as a child, I went, oh no, never again. Never again. I'm not. So the brothers, so I was the last one to cry. They said, "Oh no, nigga, you ain't getting in this frat without shit. You gonna shed some tears." And they double up on me, brother. They triple up. They quadruple up. A tear came because they just really hammered it, brother. But I was determined not to, But my brothers kept me strong. They also now, with all due respect, all my brothers. And I said Cap Alpha was manhood training, because being around women, you are a little you can be a little feminine, right? And those brothers, these are men, these are warriors, man. And I just copied their behavior.
Noble and bold men. Yeah, noble and bold.
I'm not lying. And you need that. It was manhood training.
Especially the older brothers at school, because they were on their way about to graduate. You're like, these guys are grown.
Brother. Yeah. I'm talking about warriors, man. And I tell them all the time, I said, no, y'all made me. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I took the pain, but as far as I had someone to look up to show me, oh, this is how a man should be, right? This is how you behave. I mean, they talking about a drink and cuss too, but that's a whole other
some womanizing and
the one night stands. I'm like, I never did. All of a sudden, I'm lying. Yeah, girl, it's me and you, baby. Yeah, man. I'm just imitating.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes for that one night, And
yeah, look at you. You disgust me. But you were talking about the Bible. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But but it was it's a phase, and I did apologize to those women later on.
You have to. Yep, you do. You do. And even for the ones you didn't reach, you spiritually.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you knew better.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a show, Noob, I Shouldn't Be Alive or something. They were running it, and on the show, it was live accounts of people who like got stuck on a mountain or airplane crash. got lost in the desert, car broke down, and all of them, even the atheists, the non-believers, the believers, all of them have a come to God moment. So what the show told me every episode, and it wasn't a theme of the show. It wasn't like the narrator was saying, it's just something I took from it, right? The singularity I grabbed from it. And it kind of reminds me of the pledging process when you mentioned crying.
Yes, yeah.
These people, I can do it. We have faith. And that's what God is telling us. Have faith. You got to do it. You got to work. You can't be lazy. You got to do it. You got to do it. I can't, get up, lift your cross, come to me, ask, seek, knock, right?
Yes.
So you get in a bad way. You can't get out of a bad way just by praying. What I'm saying is, they were working, but then they get to a point where they've done all they could do. On every single show. It's called I Shouldn't Be Alive Right Now or something. Every single show, right? They give up, they lay down, they let go, and they let God. All of them. If you watch them narrated, as soon as they let go and let God, they say, and then a helicopter came over. Or then a car came. Yes, you got to see it every single episode. And to me, self-love, like during the pleasuring process, when those tears come down, that's when you've done everything that you could possibly do, right? You've given everything you could get. And you're just like, well, yeah.
Yes. Woo, brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord, yes, brother.
Now, can you recommend a Black-owned restaurant? It could be anywhere.
Yeah, the Serving Spoon in Inglewood. That's a great breakfast place, and everyone knows Roscoe's. You've heard of it, the Serving Spoon?
Well, I'm in Inglewood, so me and Tasia, we're gonna check that out.
The Serving Spoon, and they were having some issues because of the whole closing.
COVID, yeah.
And they're asking, but man, Magic Johnson, all of the Lakers were always in there.
Is it on Market? Where is it?
It's on Centinela and La Brea. Like Centinela.
It's 2 minutes from the okay.
Yeah, the Serving Spoon. Of course, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, of course.
Man. Man. All right. Anything, Noop, that we didn't cover that you wanted to talk about?
Oh man. I think that there is the honoring our women, there's such a crisis that women are being killed every day, and it's one thing that all men agree on: Black, white, Jew, Arab. That women are the second-class citizens, right? They're like the niggers of the world, and every single day, I think they said every 8 hours in America, and I think it's every 4 hours in the other countries, right? That women are being killed, and forget about the ones that are being beaten. And I just think that we have to really, I don't hear it talked about in the churches. I don't hear the politicians talk about it. It's amazing to me. Women are being killed every single day, right? In front of their children, man. The guy don't care about the kids being there, And we know that actor that did it, the actor that was on that show, the actor, I can't think, he was on a detective show, and he had the two kids right there. They saw it.
Yeah.
He killed, he killed the woman. I don't know what that mentality is, but if they're not, they're beating them like they own them. And that is not being talked about. Women are it's a state of crisis, what is being done to our women every single day. And that's what disturbs me, and no one talking about it.
Self, we're going to add that to our platform.
Yeah.
More growth and development platform. Add that to the platform. We've arrived at the, and I agree with that. I do agree with that. No one ever talks about it. So, Raj, we have I don't know if you're familiar with a rapper, goes by the name of The Game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from Compton. And so he fancies himself. I love Game, by the way, but he's a name dropper. And you know how we feel about dropping names in Cali, right? So like almost every song, he's like, you'll be listening to him and he'll be like, and Ernest Thomas and RAJ, and then, Master Farad and Hodge. He'll mention names. He'll just mention names. But
wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so here we go. So we have the name game. And so what we do is we give you some clues. And then as soon as you want to make the guess, you go ahead and make the guess. And hold on a second, Taja's coming.
Guess a name? A name we're trying to guess, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the name game.
Name game. Okay.
Name game. Right? I changed it around my dyslexic self.
All right.
Okay.
Now, if the people are from some of these people are from Gary. If they're not from Gary, Indiana, then I will give you that free clue. All right.
Okay.
So here we go. Where did these go? All right. This one is not from Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
When they go low, we go high.
Michelle Obama.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. I will give you this one in a second. Okay, here we go. Not Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
Book of Eli.
Denzel Washington.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right.
This one is Gary, Indiana. He was not a little cat.
He said again?
He was not a little cat.
He was not a little cat.
Would you like another clue?
Yes.
He played 11 years in the National Basketball Association. Raise your hand if you think you got it, Self. Don't say that.
I got it. Who is that?
He played basketball at Purdue University.
Oh, man.
He's from Gary, Indiana.
He's from Gary, Indiana.
You've got 2 more clues. You can ask for the crowd to help. We'll give them a
crowd. Yeah, can I get right? Like who's how do
what they call that? Ask a friend or something. Yeah. Ask the chat. All right. So clue number 4. First overall NBA draft pick in the 1994 draft. That's first overall. That's huge. And he's from Gary, Indiana.
See, so I know about sports. So
yeah, I know. I saw you with the basketball.
I'm like, hey, you would ask me.
We saw you.
Oh man, I ain't lying. I don't have a clue, my brother.
Last one. Son plays for the Sacramento Kings. That was we were looking for Glenn Big Dog Robinson. Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean yeah. That's all right. That's all right. All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
She sang backup to Stevie Wonder.
Oh, Denise Williams.
Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. All right. The Hammer.
Fred Williamson.
Ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
I was beginning to question his Gary entity for a minute. I was about to go down there and check the records. Is this guy really from Gary?
He been away from Gary a long time since '94. Before '94, Big Dog got to do his thing.
Glenn Big Dog Robinson. All right, and here we go. Human Nature.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
This one is not from Gary, Indiana. The Greatest.
Oh, Muhammad Ali.
Hey, I tell you one thing about Ernest, when he knows it, he knows it. Oh yeah. Okay, this one is not Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
Philadelphia-born comedian.
Philadelphia born?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Another hint? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Earned his Doctor of Education.
Oh, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Yep. Your next clue was going to be I Spy, and I know someone from your generation knows
exactly what that is.
About Talk about no black people on TV, boy. I know you guys are like, what is this? Thought it was going to be a lynching tonight. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Not Gary.
Okay.
This gentleman won 2 Tonys, 2 Emmys, and an Oscar.
2 Tonys, 2 Emmys, and an Oscar.
This gentleman screen debut was Dr. Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove. Good Lord.
The Great White Hope.
James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That is it.
Oh,
all
man.
right. We got like 3 more, and then the show's over.
All right.
All right. This gentleman is not from Gary, Indiana. G Unit.
Oh, 50 cents.
Compton.
Dr. Dre. NWA.
Name Dropper.
What? Name Dropper.
We were looking for the game.
The game. Oh,
Name
the
game.
Oh my God. Name Dropper. You just said Name Dropper too.
All right. So this gentleman he's an actor, and he was born in Miami.
Born in Miami.
But he was actually raised in the Bahamas.
Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
All right now.
Self Love Nation, y'all are learning some stuff today.
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier. That's good. I see you know your history of your craft.
Yeah.
See.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is good. Okay, so this one. All right, here we go. Not Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
SNL.
Saturday Night Live. Okay. It's a person that we're talking about, right?
I'll give you a hint, though. He's from Chicago. That's a free clue. Died of a cocaine overdose.
Oh, who the hell was that? Oh, Chicago.
The Blues Brothers.
Belushi.
Yeah, rest his soul.
Yes.
It's John, though, because he's got a brother.
Right, like Jim Belushi. It's a Jim Belushi. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they're both from Chi. Okay, so this is the last one. I'm going to give you 2 clues. Well, I'll give you 1 clue. He's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Chapter Invisible. Okay. Because of this great man, the slam dunk was temporarily banned from the National Basketball Association.
Will Chamberlain.
That's right. Yo to the Noops.
Ding, ding, ding.
We had some more clues here. He claimed to have slept with over 30,000 women. He scored 100 points in NBA. And when they told me, but he's a Noop, I'm like, well, that's possible. NBA player, 7 foot, Noop, rich. It's very possible.
I can vouch that. Hey, the brothers, I know the brothers at Indiana State had to do at least 2,000. Those brothers. The Cowboys were the pretty boy. The women went after them. I mean, these women had they had their man and all that. When the man was out of town, they were calling my brothers. They were calling my brothers up. They wanted some Kappa.
If he was at another school or something, bro.
Wherever he was.
Women would talk about, I can't stand him. Next thing you know, they with the man. They with him, Brothers would be, they were lovers. They were great lovers, obviously, 'cause I'm not lying. Women, I can't stand them. Next thing you know, there she is.
They say that we were the first brothers you love to hate. All that popping collars. They stole so much of our swag and made it hip hop and made it.
They sure did.
Like the Bloods running around doing this. They stole so much.
Yeah, that's right.
To the windows, to the walls,
to the windows, to the walls, to the sweat drop from to make down and crawl. Yeah, that was one of our chants. They just took just nothing sacred.
Right.
Yeah. And it all started when they, when it started. Your shirt self. You see your shirt.
With
all wood, no paper.
No paper.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when nothing was sacred anymore, right? When nobody cared enough to, to do you like your teacher did you, the Delta. Big ups to all the Deltas. Right. It's all love. Yeah. Hey, brother, I want to ask you though, any big ups or shout outs, as we say, that you want to give, before we wrap up?
I definitely want to give out one to Tammy Mack. Tammy Mack.
Yes.
She just had a birthday, which is super talented. Your wife Tasia. I want them to have those movies and all that, man.
Big ups, Tasia.
Yeah, man. I want Don B. I want Don B. Waltz. Don and prolific writer out there. I love that.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave somebody out, but anyone that I've been in a play with in the last 8 years. I mean, Teresa Ford. I mean, man, they're so gifted. Kelly Price I worked with as well. Jacob Lusky was on American Idol. Another great, Francesca White. Oh my Lord, there's so many. Todd Anthony. Oh my God, it's I know I'm gonna miss some people, but gifted, all of them. Yeah, got that. Man, Danny Lloyd, Danny DeLloyd. Oh my God, Malika Perkins. Just people that I think the world, is so fun. We just had that one night, that one show that they're doing, but I wish that Hollywood could see we got some rich talent, brother, in these plays. I'm talking about,
yes.
What I'm saying, that could stand toe to toe with anybody out there,
Facts.
And so I just wish all of them, because I know I like someone, no one rooted for me, ain't gonna lie. I didn't have no one trying to push me when I got out here. So I said, Lord, I'm gonna try to push everybody else when I make it. And I'm still, if I win this lotto tonight, my brother, anything y'all want, okay?
Hey, y'all heard that?
Yeah, when he got it on tape.
When he wins this lotto, yes.
Just call me up, sir. I want no excuses, Ernie. I want no excuses, brother. This is what I need. Yeah.
Milana Jackson sat with us. I don't know if you know her, but she recently played in Spike Lee's movie. What's the title of that stuff?
Skin.
American Skin.
American Skin.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yes. So she sat with us, and she was magnanimous, magnanimous enough to sit with us, and she said some of the same things that you share with us today. I mean, she said some similar things about the myths. You said the same thing. They think it's going to happen quick. It's just, that's why we do this, so that we can try to find some similarities and then also some differences.
Yes, absolutely.
But I was talking to her about How to Get Away with Murder, the lady who snots all the time.
Oh, Viola Davis.
Love her, right?
I love
her. I was talking to her,
too.
and Milana says she snots all the time too. So I'm just asking you, Noop, do me a favor. If you're ever doing a scene with my wife, right? Whether it's a play, TV, film, and she starts snotting, I implore that your character makes a decision, right? That's all I'm saying. And that's what I was trying to tell Milana. She's like, yeah, we all snot. Nobody's ever given me a tissue. She's like, even my mom. She's like, even my parents don't give you tissues. I'm like, so everybody just watches everybody snot?
No, I go like, okay, doing the fences scene, I'd be like, okay, hold on.
Yes. Right. I would have seen one take of that, and the next day I would have been like, you know, it would have been part of the thing. No, the director would have loved it. You have to do it in a way where the director loves it. You know, you pull out a T-square or something, pocket square, and you know what I mean? Yeah.
You see the snot, you ain't saying nothing.
Right. That's not realistic. But according to Milana, she said in real life, Self Love and I would sit there and watch her snot, cry and snot.
Well, we wouldn't, but she says everybody in her life.
Everybody, who watches women snot?
Oh my Lord. Yeah, she's the only one I love her. I'm with you. I love her so much. But yeah, that's snot coming out every time.
You know, we digress. You know, I'm not an actor. If I want to talk to everybody about snot, but brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother. You know, between us, Tori made me at Beta, and so you know, he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay. Yeah,
Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Luv Show first annual Ernest Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man.
It's apropos that you are the first recipient.
And Noop, we call it the RAJ.
We're gonna call it the RAJ.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we have it on order. You know, we so it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother. I thank you, brothers, because you had me open up about things, you know, that I haven't discussed, and I think we covered so much. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know, because most of it is the kind of key, but we just covered so many areas, you know, that were important. And I'm so glad I had a chance to express it, you know, because no one asked you about, Black Lives Matter and that depth and you know, the stuff I talked about, the Hollywood. You said, are there any lies or rumors?
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me that, you know, and I needed to say that. So you guys, to me, brother, y'all the best. Y'all really are.
Man, this ain't that network. That's why we get TATN.
You're right. This ain't you brother. Y'all true to that. Yeah. This ain't that.
Yeah, this ain't that. You know, they say you guys should be more professional. You guys should do this and that. Well, this ain't that.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's real. No, we need this. We need the real, brother. Yes. You can see people being transformed, enlightened through this. You know, all that proper thing by the numbers, everybody's still doing the same. You're still in the same 10 years from now, you're in the same spot. You know,
right. Exactly.
You want to learn, you want to grow. You know, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna talk about? You know, I'll be curious, like, what are you gonna cover with whoever it is, you know? I think they would confide in you in things they've never said to anyone.
Yes, sir.
And we want to know people, you know.
Yes,
and I think you help them grow. You help them. You inform. You guys would tell, putting out some pearls out there. I like the silence is violence, but you saying some other things too. Like even the fact that if they had allowed that scene where my father, where I cried,
man, it would have touched me. It would have touched me. A little boy on the south side of Chicago.
My Lord.
Yeah. My Lord. And they knew it, but they knew it though.
Yeah.
And that's why they cut it and told you, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be funny here.
Yeah, it was too real. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Although your show, hats off though, it was dignified. I mean, it wasn't any coonery.
No,
hats off. It was one of the shows that told us we could be families and go to work and school.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And we had some good, the writers, they really tried, and Mabel King also made sure, oh no, my son wouldn't do that. Okay, my son wouldn't say that. She would do stuff like that. So that also,
put them in check.
Although they made every little black girl think it was okay to be a snitch, they started thinking that was their role. I'm telling mama, that's not your role. Yeah. Black women,
they prided themselves, right? They love.
We love y'all, black women. Yeah, but y'all job ain't to tell on black men and give us crap. That's not y'all job. Because D boy, I'm telling mama. Ooh, I'm telling Blackmailing everybody, boy. D used to be with it.
Blackmailing everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, but brother, if you don't have anything, man, again, really appreciate this.
Oh, I appreciate it, brother. I
Man.
really do. What do you guys will ever know? Thank you so much for this. It was a real joy. Every second of it was a real joy.
And into perpetuity, we're going to be giving out the RAJ Achievement Award every year.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right.
So,
Okay.
all right, yo, Noob.
Yeah, yo, Noob.
Yo.
Wow, man.
Oh,
couldn't have expected, anything more than that.
Man, incredible, bro. That was amazing.
Man,
I, disappointed that I got my computer just said, yeah, you're not introducing the secondary show. I mean, right when the second I was supposed to do the second show, that's when it cut off. I was like, wait a minute, they got some technical difficulty. I'm looking around. I'm like,
it was a setup because I was literally like, all right, because I was just talking to you and I was like, Self,
yes,
there it is, Self, it's over, because I knew that was a new commercial. You hadn't seen it,
right?
And we had discussed it. I'm like, all right, here we go, Self, you're on now. Self, you're on. And then I looked up and you were frozen. I'm like, am I frozen? So I wasn't sure because sometimes you don't know who's frozen. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, we're live.
And I'm looking at because I had a show running on my pad here.
Yeah.
And the screen was blank. And I'm like, what the? It's probably because there was no camera on. So I guess
it was weird. Like your share stopped. You'll see it in the replay. So.
I stopped the share. And then it went off.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. But it was black. And everything. It was weird.
Yeah.
It left everything black. So it was just weird, man. It was like whenever you lost connection, it was like the exact same time. It was weird, bro. Like you got caught in eternity. But man, yo to Ernest Lee Thomas.
Man, yo.
Silverback, bro.
Big time.
Man,
he laid it out there. Self Love Nation, he laid it out there.
And when you hear about his life, and that's why we tell you to leave your what?
Gavel at home.
Man, or else if you want to take it outside the house, where should you put it?
Shove it right up your
right.
back.
Well, PG-13.
I just
put it where the sun. Yeah, that's right. Where the sun don't shine. I didn't want to set you up for because I forgot what PG-13. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what the thing. If you can't walk into a man or a woman's shoes, you probably should get you a big cup of settle down and simmer down and mind your business.
Be quiet.
Yeah. Man.
Amazing, man.
Man, and thanks for the support from the chat. We had some great input, some great questions.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, as soon as we get that oh yeah, man, it's tight too. The award.
Yeah, I already know.
Man, yeah, it's official. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah, so the lifetime cats, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, lifetime achievement. So yeah, we started something new here. So
absolutely.
The RAJ, the Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award, and yeah, we're giving out the RAJ into perpetuity, henceforth into perpetuity. That's right. So yeah, so it looks like we covered everything on that end. Let me see who we got coming through. Yeah, because the Self Love Show must go on.
Yep.
Oh wow!
You're in for a huge treat.
Wow, we got a phenom.
Man.
Yeah, we got a phenom coming in here, and Self, that video was something happened in Colorado that we ran. And it's right in the area. We ran it either today or yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be sure to ask, him and his mom about that. Yeah. If they're active on that, if that's in the area.
Because that was crazy.
Yeah,
That was
complete crazy.
yesterday. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
yesterday. That
yeah,
was
yeah. I forgot to mention that it's ironic that it's a coincidence that it's right in our next guest wheelhouse, and
right.
and that's what they do. So, so in case you guys are wondering who Self Love and I are talking about, we played. I think did we play the promo video or are we about to run it now?
I think we have not have played it yet. That's for sure.
What's today? 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and run that. It's a young Silverback.
I'm getting it together right now.
So hopefully you guys can support. It's a new paradigm. I mean, we got 11-year-old kids stepping up, and if they can step up, then I imagine we can
step up.
Yeah. So I guess next week's show is going to be PG-11.
Yeah, it surely is. That's how we,
We can't even do PG-13 Wednesday.
No. Let's roll it.
Yeah, let's run it. Fair use.
Nicholas held his ground, holding a sign that said, "Walking while black should not equal death." Police got too close. Nicholas's mom, Amberly, said it was time to move out.
As soon as I seen the police move while Nick was talking is when I started gathering my family to come. You have citizens that are scared of you, who are you are paid to protect and serve, and we're scared of you.
But Nicholas didn't let fear stop him, desperate to share his message as if his own life depended on it.
My name is Nicholas Elijah Evans. I am 11 years old and I am a 4th-generation prison kid. That means for 4 generations my family has felt the pain from the generational curse of prison. You would think my family is full of bad people, but we're not. We are regular Americans. Our story is not unique. Every person standing here today has felt the pain of the justice system. Every year the state of Arkansas takes my dad away from me. Not because he commits a new crime, not because he does not provide for me and my family, but because the rules...
Children, hold on to your dreams.
To your dreams.
Boy, he murked that. He made like a 12-minute joint, boy.
He rocked
Killed
it.
Boy. Man. Smart kid, huh?
Man, tremendously smart. Like, it's a lot of adults that don't realize that slavery wasn't abolished. And he just pointed it out just from the mouth of babes.
Man, he said it made the police the new overseers and the judges or something, boy. Man, yeah. And then there's been some hubbub, like, is this kid, is he being put out there by the adults, in his life? Is this something that's coming from his passion? I mean, people have questions as adults, should he be focusing on school and, you know what I mean? Should he be on the front lines?
I look at this kid, this child, kids are baby goats.
Facts.
I look at this child and I see he's passionate about this. There's not nobody pumping him up or making him do anything. He saw a large slice of injustice and tyranny, and he's moving towards stomping it out.
Yeah, and I'd add to that self-love, because, we meditated, you and I, we met, had meetings on this before we even reached out to, book this kid. Cause, it's It's a conundrum, bro. You know, and it's really mind blowing. And normally, you know, when you have a kid like this, it's either you know, a money grab, or it's B, second generation activist, or like you said, something's prompting this kid. And I do feel that. I do feel like it's come from this kid center, as though it's something that, and you're right, not kid, this child, you know, this baby silverback, this young silverback is generating from his insides. Maybe, dare I say, within his DNA, something coming from his ancestral, you know,
lineage.
Yeah.
He seems to have come here for this time.
Yes.
That's the feeling I get from him.
And, you know, so, you know, if you see one roach in your house, that's not the only roach. And you guys, this kid is a prince. So I'm not calling this, you know, I'm a metaphorist. What I'm saying is, you know, if this kid exists, how many other children, young silverbacks, are out there with the same passions, the same sentiment? Maybe they aren't out there in the front lines yet, but, you know, they're feeling the same thing that he's expressing. How many of them are out there?
Exactly.
You know, and if he's 11, well, just pushing 12. So if he's pushing 12, Donald Trump was the president when he was like 8. So you can imagine the environment and the climate, you know, and then there was Floyd and everything. So his whole conscious life has been this environment. And so should this kid sit back silent like a sheep? Or should his parents raise him to be a sheep and just fit? I don't know. I mean,
absolutely not. His parents should let him do what he's doing. I mean, in my humble opinion, this is one of the
and his
reasons,
mom is out there with him.
Yeah, one of the reasons he was born.
Yeah, she's out there with him, and I believe his dad would be out there, you know. But we'll get into that, you know, during the show. You know, yeah. Poet,
fourth generation prison.
Man, think about that though. Just really think about what they said. And like when we showed those people in Mississippi yesterday, remember on the show?
Yeah.
It's people like that been going to prison and they've been going, you know, yes, and then their kids. And think about how long the cycle is. Because we know in Chicago, the cycle of gang activity, people, the pendulum of people killing each other. And nobody ever thinks about how many you know, like Duck, rest his soul, FBG Duck, his dad was in jail. And when you start sitting back and when you say, well, was Duck's granddad in jail?
Right. That opened my eyes to something. I was like,
yes.
Whoa.
Yes. It's
deep.
systematic, man.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it you know, if it can make sense, it does, because that's how they line it up. You know, they take the man out the house, he's supposed to be the breadwinner or whatever, and keep everybody else in poverty. And then the ones coming up under that, or they got to do something. You know, people can't, they're not going to go without eating.
And you explained all of that eloquently. And let me tell you the real sick part of our incarceration. That in between all that you said, that when the man is out of the picture, or the woman, if it's the mother.
Yeah.
All the time that they're being incarcerated, they're not being rehabilitated. They're actually being crapped upon. You know, they're being torn apart. They're not being built up into a better human being so that when they do their time, they can come out and get a job and be, you know, more viable. No, they're being called animals, and you know, you're this, you're that, and treated like animals. And it's just
basically getting a college degree in criminology, because, you know, when they get out, you know, and it's going to be the same prospects as when they came in. So unless they figure something out,
actually worse, because they'll have that mark on them.
Yeah.
So now the people who weren't hiring them in the first place now have a what excuse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have hired you if you didn't have that mark. You know, they just be saying that to piss you off. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's crazy. But looking forward to that conversation.
Man, listen. It is time to, more growth and development. So yeah, we have some questions for this young man and also his team. We'd like to be the Self Luv Show. One thing we're about is linking our connecting our
breadwinners
with our who
activists.
That's right. So it's a goal of ours, and so that's something we'll be working at in the interim, right? Self Love.
Absolutely.
So there's been people who say they want to help the show. Well, this may be a time where you can help, but we'll sit down and we'll talk to this young man and his team prior to pulling any proverbial triggers.
Absolutely.
And you're going to play us off here, Sam. Bullets are boomerangs.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
An eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something. Back off your mic.
Greed plus ego over fear is slavery.
Tyranny plus humility times love is freedom.
Don't answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is an illusion.
Vibrate love.
Forgiveness and charity are the highest vibrations.
So, do something charitable for your enemy.
Hurt people.
Healthy people heal people.
Free Jeff Fort.
Free Mary Hoover.
Free the guys, man.
Prison to slavery.
Yes, sir. Walk atop Lake Michigan and all the Great Lakes.